All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Such a cold night. We're here in Kresge where it's warm and comfortable. We're here to watch some matches. Yes. I'm here. My name's Maxwell Mann. I'll be your MC tonight. I'm sitting here with two other of our famous developers, David Liu and Alex Chen. For those of you who are watching us on the live stream online, welcome. If you want to chat with us, you can use the chat box and so on, and we might read your messages, and we might not. So some of you might be new to Battlecode, so we'll go over the rules for this year, and then we'll get right on into the tournaments. So switching right on over to this other computer. We've got a transition animation that plays whenever we switch, by the way. So this year's Battlecode, right? It looks like this. You'll have your red team versus your blue team. And the goal, as shown with a pink circle on the left, is to get 10 million gigagallons of milk. That'll happen when the colored bar reaches this white line. And the goal is to collect the cows into a pasture, and then the pasture will milk the cows and collect the milk. Each team is provided at the beginning of the match with an invincible headquarters, which spawn these soldier-looking units, this type of unit which you see here. And these can attack or themselves turn into pastures. These pastures look like this on the map. They have a little circle around them, and they collect the cows, and they milk the cows. Which is just excellent. It really helps you win the game. And we've seen a lot of good teams this year actually use the game mechanics that we provided for getting victory points. Noise towers can push the cows around, and it can really help with herding. And with that, this year showing that the noise towers are scaring these cows away. You can see them sort of bunching up. The green, obviously, indicates the cow density at a given tile, because the more green an area is, the more it makes you think of cows if you're of a certain religion or race or ethnicity. The maps contain these blue squares that robots can't traverse, which look sort of like water, and these gray ones where robots can move at double speed. Now, the soldiers can attack, but they're slowed down by the computations that they do. So it's really important to write good code. That's one of the reasons why so many of our sponsor companies are interested in hiring Battlecode contestants, because they write such good code that does so much good work. In this illustration, these robots are broadcasting messages in pink, and they're taking damage, and their hit points are shown below. So if you haven't seen this GUI before, that's what it is, or I guess it's more of a client visualizer. You can destroy enemy pastures to get milk. There's no real, it's hard to come up with an analogy or like a story reason why destroying a pasture should grant you milk, but for gameplay balance, it's pretty important, so that's why it's in there. The robots can also self-destruct. A little known ability, here's this red guy, and in the next frame you can see he's self-destructed and dealt absolutely massive damage to these two other guys in an adjacent area. And with that, that's a pretty complete description of this year's gameplay, which means that we're ready to move right into the tournaments. So what we'll do here is we'll get it right on going. Immediately after we do the thing we were going to do before starting the tournament, we have so much to be thankful for. And one of those things is our sponsors. So let's go ahead and start out by showing some slides and some interesting things from our platinum sponsor, Oracle. So come on up, Oracle representatives, if you can.
Nobody told them you started.
Oh, well, that's interesting. It's important to have good communication. I guess the issue is, they've got.
But there's still a ton of people outside.
Oh, it turns out. So there's an interesting thing that there's a ton of people outside who haven't come in yet because we opened the doors, but we didn't actually invite them in, I guess. So David, what are your thoughts on inviting people?
I'd say we should probably tell them to come in, because I think the tournament's going to be starting pretty soon.
Can I hear you, David?
I don't know. My microphone should be on.
Okay, I think you're good. Tell me again, the micro of visitor inviting?
I don't even know what you're talking about. But we should just get people in who are not.
Well, yeah, let's do. So as those people come in, you know, we're gonna see them come in.
Yeah. We can herd them in with a noise tower.
Yeah, that's a great idea. We need more noise outside, some people to make some noise. Yeah. Ooh. Good stuff. Good stuff. So at this tournament, if you didn't know already, we'll be showing the newbie bracket. This is the bracket that's available for people who are new to Battlecode to give them a sort of ease into the competition that will probably consume their IAPs for the next 4 or 5 years. And subsequently, we'll be showing the finals matches for the top 16 teams.
That's right.
Way to support me there,
Yeah.
David.
Yeah, no, you got it all. I have nothing to add.
The top 16 teams, which have demonstrated their valor and merit on the electronic battlefield.
So for those of you who don't know as much about the tournament, the top 16 teams came this far by going through, I believe, 3 other tournaments already. There was the sprint tournament, which was after just 1 week of working. So it's a very, very quick tournament, and a lot of people don't have everything they would like finished on their bots. And then after that is the seeding tournament, where we actually play the teams against each other to determine their seeding for the next tournament. And the tournament after that is the qualifying tournament, which in essence qualifies them for this final tournament here. So the qualifying tournament ends after we have eliminated all but 16 teams, and those 16 teams are going to be the ones who are battling it out today.
They battle it out in double elimination style. The double elimination record that was maintained from the, getting into the top 16, I believe, is reset.
Right.
So for some teams, maybe a good thing. For some teams, maybe not so much. But all in the name of absolute fairness, for sure. So I think everybody who is outside has probably come on in by now.
I would hope so.
So have we got our Oracle representatives in the house? Yes, hello. So come on up and please show us why Oracle is so amazing. Not that we don't all, we also know that it's amazing. But yeah, so at the podium would be, yeah, that's a fine spot.
Okay, it's kind of bright, so I can't see anybody, but hi, my name is Minji. I was class of 2006. I was here for a long time when I was an undergrad, 2002 to 2006. I did double major in 18 and 6. I then subsequently did my master's and PhD here. So I stayed here for around 11 years. So I got to see a lot of changes in the campus. That was great. I did participate in Battlecode when I was an undergrad. I wasn't very good at it, so I think we barely qualified once or twice. So congratulations to all of you who made it to the final. That's an achievement to be proud of. And I work at Oracle on database servers called Exadata machines. And they're high-end performance machines, and you get to work in... I think the reason why I really liked Oracle was because their recruiting process allows you to interview with multiple teams. I think you get to choose among 6 or 7 teams and get to know them, actually interview with them, and choose one of the teams that you like the most. So that was kind of the variety that I got exposed to, and I really liked the Exadata team because although it's a high-end product, you also get to work with a very small team. I think the entire development team is about 30 people, so it feels kind of small, and I really liked it. So that's why I chose it, and it's pretty fun. I like it. And also you get to choose between working in the Bay Area, working in Cambridge, wherever you want. So that kind of flexibility was something that I also enjoyed. So I hope this match becomes interesting soon. And if you have any questions about Oracle or anything like that, come by our booth and you can just ask us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You know, when I hear about Oracle's high-end business and data machines, I can't help but think of Battlecode, which is itself, in my opinion, a very high-end and highly specialized and excellent code base and program and system and student group. And with that segue, we'll move right into the Newbie Tournament. Starting right about now. So we have 1260 over 3 versus Ralphie.
So we'd like to invite the newbie teams on stage to talk a little bit about their bots.
So come on up and come to these two microphones here, if you can. Maybe I'll pause the match. Okay. So welcome on stage. Go ahead, and one microphone per team would be great. You can just pull it right on out, and you can tell us a little bit about how your code works while the match runs, so you can help us commentate. All right? You guys ready? You want to introduce yourselves?
Hi, everybody. We're 1260 over 3. We're going to be playing red here, and Ralphie, you can introduce yourself.
Yes, I'm Ralphie. Well, I'm not Ralphie, I'm Daniel, but my team is Ralphie, and my other two teammates couldn't be here, but they are also mentally supporting Ralphie in this tournament. We are blue team.
Now, since you guys will be probably turning around a lot to look at the screen, you can just go ahead and pull the microphone off so that you can hold it, just hold it in your hand, and I'll run the match, and you guys can help us commentate. All right? Ready to go?
This is bad.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Well, right now, we start by going for a contain. That's our default strategy. And then after a set number of turns, go for a farming setup.
We spend a long time thinking about the map and then try to pick a good spot and move out to there. Unfortunately, in this situation, that didn't seem to work very well because the other team contained us quite well.
So the turn on which we build is earlier on larger maps. So here, once we got like 3 robots to their HQ, we just turned around and built a pasture and a noise tower to herd everything into the pasture.
And as you can see, it worked quite well.
All right, an exciting first match.
You may notice the red units killing the blue units. That's something we call a dumpster micro, where we take the other robots and put them in the dumpster.
Oh, such BM.
Oh, thank you for... Ralphie doesn't actually mind the dumpster very much. As you can see, he's eagerly moving into your line of fire because he's so eager to go where you're sending him. So now he's actually found a good spot to build, and he's trying to build there, but he's having a hard time getting through your dump truck.
So as things continue, the spot we chose to farm seems suboptimal as we've jammed ourselves in a corner. But hopefully Ralphie will build a pasture, and so our robots will mobilize the dump truck at that time. Until then, we're just going to sit around in the corner.
Oh, as you can see, we brilliantly self-destructed and actually, I think, damaged one of their robots. And we'll now try to build a tower and a pasture. Although, I don't know if it'll be fast enough.
All right, if the pasture is built, we should activate some aggression and
Oh, we're
chase
smart,
it.
and we're not building a pasture, so you guys remain stuck.
Oh man, we got outplayed.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, it happened. Oh, and so yeah, we go all out.
There were some
And we
last
just returned to our
self-destructs hoping to
defense.
kill some of their robots, and we might have dealt some damage.
All right, thank you both for coming up on stage.
Thank you.
That's really good. You know, David, I think we may be out of a job here. Those guys were pretty good at commentating.
They were. I didn't even have anything to add. So congratulations to 1260 over 3, right? Yeah, 1260 over 3 for winning the Newbie Tournament. Now we'd like to start with the final tournament. So the top 16 teams, do you have anything to add, Max?
No, I think we're ready to
Jump on in?
move right on into that finals round 1. Go! Apparently, there are still a ton of people outside because they think it starts at 7. I'd like to take this time to emphasize the importance of good communication and how when you have good communication instead of perfect communication, things are very poorly organized. So I've hit start, and things are on their way towards start because a lot of people think that when you push start, things begin, like immediately. But there are phases of beginning. A multi-phase. Maybe somebody somewhere in the ones and zeros of a computer has written a 5-year plan for how to start this match, and that plan concerns me. It concerns me greatly. And I'm prepared to express my concern with honesty, with a space bar. So we have that one team versus Cloud 8. Come on up. Come on up. Introduce yourselves.
I'm that one team in red, it looks like.
We're Cloud 8 in blue.
All right, we're ready to keep going. I apparently don't know that you have to push spacebar to start the tournament, so that's all good.
All right, so my guys have quickly built a pasture and a noise tower in what they think is a good spot, and they're trying to defend it and get a lot of milk.
Our strategy revolves around attacking until we get an advantage, and then using that advantage to hold on to a pasture.
So it looks like we felled him off, though.
A quick victory from that one team, bringing us on to the second, what are we going to call it? The second match in the game? Or the second game in the match?
I think it's match in the round.
Second match in the round. A round of 3. Do I have to push spacebar again? You know, the number of times I'm going to have to push spacebar tonight is just appalling.
So I think on this map, my guys in red are just going to rally to the center and wait for stuff to happen.
Our strategy is the same.
So at some point, my guys will do something. It will probably happen when the round counter gets to 1,000. You can see the hat-based strategy that I'm employing here. The red headquarters in the upper left has a nice piece of headgear.
You know, I've been...
Get ready.
Go on.
All right, here we go. All right, so we've picked out some nice real estate, and we're probably going to do something now.
You know, I think developing real estate is very important in any company you join. You know, it's one of the longer-lasting assets you can have.
All right, so again, we've put up a pasture and noise tower, and we're trying to defend it.
And we will welcome onto the stage our next 2 teams, as you can see on the bracket, B1 with Yuri and Animorphs. As a proxy for B1 with Yuri, a team from, I believe it was Germany, we will be using maybe a small inanimate object. If you will introduce yourselves. B1 with Yuri will be available shortly.
All right, we're the Animorphs. Clearly, we've already scared our team into defeat here. Are we starting, or?
Yeah, go ahead. Hello! I'm B1 with Yuri, a cup. Let's get started.
All right. Anyway, let's get started on this match.
All right, are we red or blue? I can't really see us. Oh, I think we just built a pasture.
So we're defending a pasture right now because that's generally good to do when you build it. Our units try to like get between the enemy and the pasture and kind of block them off and just hope that they don't come at us. So, any comments, Jeff?
No. Our units are at a standstill right now, and they're not going in because they know we're better than them. Yeah.
And I think we're gonna win.
I've attacked at the right moment. I always wait for the right time.
So they built a pasture, and then we killed it, and so we're building a pasture again, and just defending it. We don't have a noise tower, though, so we're not getting milk very fast. But again, they're stuck outside because we're better.
Oh, no! To all the comments that the cup should be German, I refer you to the manufacturer of the cup. I mean, I didn't make the cup, so I can't help it if he has that accent. So moving on to our next match.
So it looks like our strategy is sort of the same. We want to find a good location to build a pasture that's sort of near our base, but also full of cow growth. And then we defend the pasture first and foremost. I can't really see. I didn't wear my contacts. But I think we built a pasture in the top. I think it's sort of going the same way the last game did.
The cup informs me that he has excellent vision and that he has no problem seeing that he will attain victory shortly. In due time.
I think they have us surrounded, but they're not going in. Probably waiting for the right moment, as the cup team does. Don't know why they didn't do that earlier.
So what happened there is we saw that they had a pasture, and as everyone knows, the best way to defend is just to attack them. So our units just kind of abandoned our advantageous position and attacked them.
We're gonna destroy their pasture, hopefully, unless they deny it, which it looks like they did, and they destroyed our pasture.
A lot of back and forth here. The cup is going for the bamboozle play.
Oh, I think they keep on denying their pasture, which is well played.
The cup's got one ninja down there at the bottom. You see that guy? You see that guy? Two guys?
Two, I think.
But it looks like we're gonna be able to defend that last pasture. Woohoo! Yeah. All right.
The cup wanted to shake hands. The cup is offended. All right, and for the next match, let's get up here Armada versus Quotes. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Team Quotes.
Hi, we're Team Armada. This is Nathan, Josh, I'm Damien, and this is Vlad behind me. We failed to implement hats in our strategy, so we're making up for it here.
I should have thought of that. I also don't use hats, but...
Yeah, so we decided because we won the troll tournament, we should wear Teemo hats. Yeah, so I think our strategy in this map is to build up some kind of force, and once we have enough units to build a pasture, noise tower combo.
Yeah, so it looks like Armada has some superior micro to me. It looks like my units are getting pretty handily defeated. This might be a good time to talk about something other than my strategy. So, living up to my team's name, I decided to take a few quotes from the indicator strings of various teams. So in Battlecode, as a debugging mechanism, you can associate various strings with your robots, and you can look at them when you replay a match. So Armada in the sprint tournament had this interesting quote: engage right, left, luging.
Luge.
Oh, luging.
It's a sport that, in fact, aired today in the Winter Olympics.
I was wondering.
We've decided that it's the best sport in the Winter Olympics because it involves people laying down on a board and going really fast.
I see. Well, you know, you learn something new every day. So, maybe.
Nice.
Well, this is interesting. This seems to be kind of a slow match, huh?
Yeah, so I think Quotes built a pasture in the bottom right, which we recently killed. And we're massing units, and Quotes is rebuilding his pasture, and we're going to hopefully kill it again. Oh, he denied it. Pretty good.
Yeah, so, you know, if your pasture gets destroyed by your own hands, the enemy doesn't get milk. You know, so as long as the pasture's destruction was according to plan, you know, there's no,
Of course.
no downside to it. And it looks like Armada's gotten its act together and is now handily winning. Good game.
Well played.
Congratulations to Armada.
Our next match will be Paddle Goats versus Robots Descended Mythical. Come on up. So we got Paddle Goats in red here, Robots Descended Mythical in blue on the right. I don't know if the team members will be standing in the same orientation. Go ahead, introduce yourselves. Paddle Goats. Probably good to take it off the stand.
I'm Paddle Goats.
And we're the Robots Descended Mythical team.
All right, let's get started. So what are your strategies?
I can't see what's going on at all. Sorry.
No, it's pretty small. But I guess our general strategy would be to amass troops and go in the general direction of their headquarters until we have enough troops, and then we'll try and build a pasture and noise tower combo.
I do the exact same thing.
We'll see what happens then.
Yeah, we're fighting or something, right?
You know, I would say Battlecode
that's
is a
good.
relatively nuanced competition. You know, two teams can do the same thing, but the result, you know, doesn't always come out the same.
Yeah, I guess I have a pasture now or something.
A wise philosopher once said, "You can try, but will it work?"
It looks like they have built a pasture when we are unable to breach the defense.
So maybe Paddle Goats, you can tell us a little bit about your combat micro.
Well, it's a 1,000-line switch statement. I convert every robot's position into an integer and then switch on it because it's cheaper than doing, dot distance squared to. And on here, I guess, I don't know, I'm bugging around that crescent thingy and I'm not being very efficient about it because I don't even have tangent bug. I just do like normal bug hugging the surface.
You have a 1,000-line switch statement.
Yeah.
That's presumably often like a side method, so you don't have to scroll through that every time. You have to like look at your main
Well,
code.
if I did that, I think I'd incur an extra bytecode or two calling it, so I just had it at the end.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Performance is much more important than excellent documented code and that sort of thing. Best practices are not always best. Thank you both for coming up. Our next match will be Losing Really Badly versus Six Pool.
So Six Pool is another team from outside of the nation, so they will probably not be here unless they flew in a few hours ago. I'm not sure where they are from. Do you know, Max?
I forget. I heard
the Netherlands. I think that's right.
But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm losing really badly here, and I guess I'm in red. So we'll see how this goes.
For team 6 pool, I'll have this this bread roll.
All right, cool. So initially, we try to rally towards center, but we see that they're trying to build a pasture, so we're basically just trying to also build a pasture to counter that, because if you wait too long, then they might win on milk. So building a pasture at the top, which supposedly my headquarters thinks is like the best spot to try to build a pasture, and hopefully if we can defend that long enough, then we can win. Nope, guess not.
This is a pretty close match, folks. The bread roll is getting very excited.
So losing really badly is very close to winning. If he just rebuilds that pasture and collects a little bit of milk, he'll come out on top.
Oh.
Very close.
Close one. All right, so I also don't do tangent bug or anything smarter than normal bug, so I'll be bugging around the crescent. And
6 pool is amassing a bunch of units on the side with the intention of building a noise tower pasture combo.
Yep. The structures are complete, and he's able to fend off losing really badly's first attack.
Yeah.
It looks like losing really badly is also making structures.
yeah, we start later though, so this could be interesting if it comes down to a race. Hopefully I'm able to stop him from farming.
Oh, the robot count is quite even. It's gonna be a close one. So we're on to our first round 3.
So I think this is the first matchup where it's gone to the 3rd round. So now we get to see a new map.
Yeah, so this is going to be interesting because it's a very open map, so we're going to see a lot of it's going to be a matter of micro. So hopefully whoever can fight better probably win.
6 pool, taking a lot of damage, is 3 to 8 enemy robots.
Yeah, the thing that's really deceptive though is that a lot of my robots are at really low health, and what I try to do is I try to have my low health robots run away somewhere so that they can try to regenerate that health. Because if your robots don't take damage for 30 turns, then they start to regenerate health at a really slow rate. So the low robots try to run away, try to regen the health, and then come back and then fight again.
What a frighteningly effective strategy. The bread roll is very afraid. 6 pool is retreating maybe a little bit to his headquarters.
And the 1,000 rounds count has hit, so now we should be trying to farm. So hopefully noise tower should come up soon. And then shortly after that, building a pasture. And then hopefully we should have enough soldiers to be able to fend off any attack against it.
Now the reason for building the pasture after the noise tower, even though the pasture is the one that collects milk, is that any team can detect the opponent's pastures.
Yes, that's correct.
So it provides an easy way to go on the offense.
Six pool, not victorious in that match, but quite delicious.
So this is Vegan Police versus Proxy 2 Gate, and they're coming up to stage.
Go ahead, introduce yourself.
So we are. Can people hear me? Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, we are the Vegan Police. We are red.
And we're Proxy 2 Gate, and apparently we're blue.
So on small maps, we just run the same attack bot that everyone else does. But on big maps, which this looks like it's going to be, we employ a cooler strategy, which you're about to see. So our robots are all scattering, and they're all going to go build pastures and noise towers at the same time. And the hope is that they'll together be able to get 10 million milk before they find them. It doesn't look like it's going to work, however. We have some decoys. You can see those pastures in the lower left-hand corner are decoys for the blue units, hoping that they go for those instead of our actual pastures. Unfortunately, they seem to have gone for our actual pastures.
So right now we have like kind of a back and forth game because we don't defend our pasture and noise tower that well.
We also don't defend ours at all.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much just a race. Oh, wow. Oh.
Oh.
All sick.
This is a smaller map, so probably we're just going to attack on this map. We also sense that we're Team A, and since Team A is always the team with the higher seed, we figure if we have a higher seed, we're better off attacking and having a micro contest. Whereas if we have the lower seed, we have to resort to putting pastures all over the place and hope they don't kill them in time. So we're more likely to just attack on this map, when we're a red team.
Wow, that's amazing.
Bold strategy.
That's so cool. It's like knowing your weakness and then playing your trump card and then like pulling aces out of your sleeve and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly like cheating.
I didn't mean that.
So they built,
Now micro battle ensues.
Yeah. Yeah.
Luckily, we use a little bit of suicide micro in the best cases, so that looked like it worked for us pretty well.
Unfortunately, they reseeded for the final tournament. We were hoping we were going to have a low enough seed that we would be Team B for these matches.
All right, everybody, we're moving on to the third round in the set.
That's right.
It's going to come down to this.
So all these maps are actually custom made by the developers. They're all individually named as well, and we put quite a lot of time into deciding which ones were the best to include in the final tournament pack.
Indeed, we probably spent more time naming them than we spent making them.
Well, this is not good. So we also keep track of what happened in previous games. Because we won a game when we were just building pastures all over the place and lost a game when we were attacking, we're much more likely to just build pastures. So that's what we're doing this game.
Luckily, our mining technique is pretty good, so hopefully it'll help us out. Yep.
Oh, close match. Thank you both for coming up. Dad, we've already seen some pretty exciting games. Now let's watch Jalmad versus Pusheen. Jalmad and Pusheen both been excellent teams throughout the tournament, starting as early as the sprint tournament. We saw Jalmad as some of the pioneers of self-destruct micro. So go ahead, introduce yourselves.
Hi, we're Team Pusheen.
We're Team Jalmad. Which team are we? Are we red?
Jalmad is in red,
Okay.
Pusheen's in blue.
So we have a heuristic to decide which strategy based on factors such as map size. It looks like we're going for a mid-map strategy. We're red, right? Yeah. So we just build a pasture and try to defend it. Yeah, why did we choose that location? Why?
Our strategy is basically to find a really good location to build a pasture, which seems to be
Wait,
worse than
what are we
theirs by now.
doing there?
Since they were ahead of us, we try to target them.
Wait, why are we attacking?
Oh my god.
No!
Okay, this looks like oh, are we rushing? Oh no, that's just your rally point.
Okay, so I have no idea what we're attacking.
This is a dangerous location for red.
We seem to
So
have
again,
built
we're building a pasture early, and we also our north tower also like tries to hit their.
So our robots seem to be staring at a pasture, hoping to bring it down without actually attacking it. Oh, there we go. Oh, wait, what the hell? We're like down.
We try to build the second pasture.
So now it looks like Jalmad's going for a second pasture.
Oh, this is good.
This is the third map.
Coming down to the third map.
Fortunately, we reset the losses of each team after the qualifiers, so even if you lose one match, you're still in the tournament.
Oh, wait, so we also implemented that code where if we're low on health, we retreat, and we'll see if that ends up destroying us because it ruins our formation sometimes. Oh, yeah, it looks like we're doing a small map strategy, or it might just be because we're engaged in micro, we're afraid to build a pasture.
So yeah, what seems to be happening is just robots are swarming to the middle and then just chilling out for a while.
But they're actually at an advantage in milk. So
Oh no, we built
we'll
a pasture.
see.
God damn it.
Oh my gosh.
Why? Why, God?
Looks like
Oh, we
we're
built
building
another
our own
one.
pasture now. That's a okay location, I guess. It's kind of close to their HQ.
I guess you noticed that the red North Tower is also hitting their pasture, so this is sort of preventing milk from getting in there. So it's like half herding and half hitting their pasture. I don't know, that seems kind of useful.
Yeah.
Thanks to this guy here.
Wait, why are we not attacking?
So nice formation. Thanks for Michael.
All right. You know, when we came up with the game mechanic of herding cows, I don't know how much of what we saw we anticipated, but I think I've in general been quite impressed by the variety of herding strategies that we've been able to see in this tournament. So now we're watching 1260/3 versus 10-hour challenge.
So we're expecting a pretty close match here.
So I'm expecting to lose horribly. I'm 10-hour challenge. I think in like the scrimmages, I took one match off of them, and they beat me in like 4 or 5. So.
But you never know with the dumpster bot. You never know.
Yeah. So.
Why don't we start this and find out?
So what you're gonna want to look for here is see which team gets more robots in the dumpster, because I think neither of us build pastures very early on, and we're both reasonably. We're both looking to get a robot advantage and then press that into a win by building a pasture when losing the soldier isn't going to hurt us.
And now you may notice that often these robots just line up face to face.
So it looks like I built a pasture earlier than they did, and that's going to be either very good or very bad, because their attacking micro is very conservative, and so sometimes their attack micro just doesn't actually attack the pasture even when they have a very large robot advantage. But it looks like they got it down, and now it's my turn to try to attack their pasture, and it doesn't look like I'm going to get there. So I think they got this one.
I think our code.
Oh, I got it down. Okay, so this is still a game.
Oh, so close.
Yeah, I think our code is like it accidentally considers his pastures to be a
So
threat.
I've built a pasture, and now we're going to see if their attack code is going to take it down before the end of the game. There's only 600 turns left.
It looks like his milk farming is really fast, so I don't think we're going to get through this.
Yeah,
first
so
one
a
here.
lot of teams you'll see do this linear farming strategy, and I do a slight variation on it where I do angles of multiples of 7 pi over 16 instead of...
7 pi over 16 just happens to be my favorite number.
I'm glad.
How do you arrive at that number?
So the idea was you don't want to do angles that are too close together in quick succession, because you're like scaring cows away from the nearby angles when you're doing the linear farming. So I wanted an angle close to about pi over 3. And then I wanted to hit all of the orthogonal directions and all the diagonals, because a lot of the maps have these straight diagonal lines and straight orthogonal lines. I wanted to take advantage of that. So 7 pi over 16 gave me a nice number. So it looks like I managed to take down their pasture.
This is super awkward because most of our robots are on the wrong side of their HQ, so
Yeah,
this doesn't
where?
really do anything.
Oh, you guys are like containing me. Interesting. And I'm just gonna happily farm to the win, I think.
Yeah.
So one of the strategies we've seen a lot is when you have a robot advantage. One of the strategies we've seen a lot is when you have a robot advantage, you can head towards the enemy headquarters and kind of contain them inside.
We're going to see this map after. Wait, don't come up yet. We're going to see this map after we hear some remarks from some more sponsors. So, yeah, that's right. The old cliffhanger, the old switcheroo. First, let's hear from our lovely sponsor, Dropbox. Have we got a representative in the house? Has anyone from Dropbox got a presentation to show? Or, yeah. Do you want to go next? Could you? Are you the Dropbox representative? Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry, I didn't know if you were like ready. Once again, good communication is not as good as perfect communication. Yes, so everybody give a nice warm welcome to Dropbox.
All right. What's up, everybody? My name's Albert. Proud to be an MIT and Battlecode alum. Last time I was up on this stage was, I think, 6 years ago, and I was a lot more nervous that time than I am this time. Yeah, I'm kind of just cruising this time. So I was nervous last time because, well, first of all, I knew how hard my teammates and I had worked to get up here, and just like all of you here. And I knew how much it would mean to us to win this, because this is really the most prestigious programming competition at MIT. And I was also nervous because the day before, I'd gotten dinner with a couple guys named Drew and Arash, who'd recently started a company called Dropbox, and I was hoping to join them. So they'd returned to MIT from San Francisco for Battlecode, even though they were super busy, because they knew it'd be worth it for them to come back. And during dinner, Drew lamented that even though he'd made it to the top 8 in Battlecode in the past, he didn't win. And so I told him, well, my team's going to win. And like any self-respecting MITer, I explained in significant technical detail why I thought that was the case. Drew was intrigued, but I knew that in order for him to be impressed, we'd actually have to deliver. So by the way he responded, I could tell that this was kind of going to be like my job interview for Dropbox at the time. So yeah, it was really nerve-wracking, but by now you can probably guess how it turned out. So yeah, unfortunately for me, I didn't even keep the crown of being like the most accomplished Battlecode contestant at Dropbox for very long. In fact, the first person to join the analytics team after me was none other than 2-time Battlecode champion Steve Bartell, who's also here today. Yeah, that's right. My team was 2 people, and I'd already somehow lost Battlecode bragging rights. Steve even beat me back on stage because he gave the speech last year. Like, what a jerk. But he did win twice, so I think he deserves it, only at Dropbox. Anyway, back when I was at MIT, I had it all. Interesting problems, incredible people to learn from, and a heavy jacket. What I appreciate most about MIT is how, this place doesn't just bring out the best in you, it challenges you and takes you to a level that you wouldn't have reached otherwise. And I think nothing exemplified that more than Battlecode. I've been fortunate enough for that to continue at Dropbox. So what's next for us? Well, we've recently embarked on a new journey. Internally, we call it Chapter 2. And this is really the chapter in our history when we craft experiences for our users that go above and beyond their expectations. This can mean collaborating in ways that have simply never been possible before, creating like a memory lane around your photos and videos that you've never seen before, or like leveraging our expertise to enable developers to build products that work on all operating systems and devices of all shapes and sizes, and doing it in a way that's easier than it's ever been before. And that's just what I'm allowed to say up here. So yeah, Chapter 2 is when we think we're going to begin to fulfill our potential as a company, and we're going to approach it the same way that we've approached Chapter 1. That means building extremely high-quality technical stuff that people need, solving technical challenges that not many others even dare to tackle, and hiring only the best of the best. It's worked pretty well so far. Some of the world's most reputable, or so I hear, and conservative investment firms think that we're worth $10 billion and have even written the checks to prove it. That's pretty cool, I guess. If they want to show their faith in us that way, I'll take it. But for the 175 engineers at Dropbox, it's never been about what we're valued at. It's been about the value that we're creating. And we think we can do a lot more for the people across the world. And when I say across the world, I mean over 75% of our users are outside of the US, so yeah. Anyway, coming back to this room, we need a lot of help to achieve our lofty goal of becoming what Drew calls Athena for the world. And this is a world where it's no longer just computers that are connected. We're talking, you guys know this, phones, tablets, even gonna be things like cameras, televisions, cars, watches, and stuff that I probably can't even imagine. Another lofty goal, and frankly, I consider it an obligation of ours as a company, is to each and every person that joins us. We want to help you do the best work of your life so far at Dropbox and equip you to do even greater things in the future. It's a mission that means a lot to me personally, and that's why I'm so excited to be back here. I've previously been head of engineering hiring at Dropbox for a couple of years, personally recruited a bunch of people, and unsurprisingly, there's no better place to find new Dropboxers than here at MIT. That's because all of you can rise to the MIT challenge, and that means you can do anything. So I hope you hold yourself to a higher standard. Whether it's Dropbox or somewhere else, I hope you go to a place where there are far more important challenges than there are people to solve them. I hope you go where there are wonderful people and unlimited opportunities to learn. And I hope you just keep pushing yourself to your limit and beyond, just like MIT has, to build something meaningful, work on something that you can be proud of 5, 10, even 50 years from now. And I think you guys all owe it to yourselves and to the world not to settle for less. Finally, along those lines, we at Dropbox owe MIT and Battlecode to work even harder and to do even more. We want to continue to show the world what an MIT company is capable of and the principles that we stand for. So, thank you, MIT, thank you, Battlecode, and thank you to each and every person here for using and supporting Dropbox. And I promise all of you the best is yet to come. Thanks and good luck to the contestants.
Thank you, Dropbox. Wow, what a heartwarming story. It was inspirational even. That's so great. And just the other week, if I may deign to share a story, just last week, my hard drive failed, but everything I had on there that was important was on Dropbox. And when I went out to Micro Center and I bought a solid-state drive to replace it, because I'm done with those spinning things, I put that in there, and I just basically logged in, and it was all there, and it was all fine. And in short, that's how Battlecode is still alive. Exaggeration. And with that story, which actually looked a little bit like a piece of dirt next to the shining diamond of the one that we just heard before it, let's hear from D.E. Shaw. Have we got D.E. Shaw representative? All right, come on up. Come on up. We'll get a little round of applause for D.E. Shaw.
Hey. Hey, guys. So I'm going to keep this short, partly because I wasn't 100% sure I was going to talk to you guys, but and so I didn't prepare that much. But I just want to say that, so to me, looking at Battlecode, Battlecode to me is it's a lot like quantitative finance. So, what is quantitative finance? So my roommate, he works at Facebook, and I'm like, do you know what quantitative finance is? And he's like, oh, dude, I've seen Wolf of Wall Street, all right? You guys are evil, get out of here. You guys make the world a terrible place. And it's just interesting to me because this view of what finance is has changed so much. Like, what finance is has changed so much from the 80s until now. So like before, you would have, essentially people, trading, making decisions, running the show, exploiting, each other in a way that's just terrible. But now, you look at Wall Street and actually there aren't really that many people anymore. They're all being replaced by computers. And so what quantitative finance is it's just using mathematical models and basically clever software to trade and make decisions and execute and essentially do the job that the people used to do and aren't doing anymore. So it used to be the case that, you want to make a trade, you call your broker, and, he's a human. He's like, hey, what do you want? Oh, no, you should really buy this, blah, blah, blah. Now you go on E-Trade, and it's just completely automated. And that same concept is what quantitative finance is all about. And it's just essentially adding efficiency and liquidity to the markets. So one little story, if you're going to work in a quantitative finance firm, D.E. Shaw is a pretty interesting place, and we're actually one of the first to start using computers and bringing them to the world of finance. When we first used computers to trade, there wasn't anyone trading with computers. They were all humans. And we took a computer, and we programmed our software. It was probably like an Intel, Pentium something at the time. I don't even know what we were using. But we hooked it up to the markets, and it started happily trading along, and brokers, like the people who you give your trades to execute them in the market, back then they were people, now they're not people anymore. But they would get our trades, and they would execute them, and the brokers typically like to thank the people who they're executing for because they get commissions when they execute a lot. And the way they thank them is they they send pizza or food or something. And the D.E. Shaw office got 300 pizzas because the trading volume that we were generating with our computer trades appeared to be coming from, a huge organization of like thousands of people, which it wasn't. It was just, this is the new age. This is a computer. It does the work of 1,000 people. And they were shocked to know that it was just like 3 guys in an office above a communist bookstore, like just making these trades. So, largely, I really think that we're on the cusp of a resource allocation revolution because essentially inefficient humans are being taken out of the loop entirely. And, Battlecode, you program your algorithms and essentially they play against each other and eventually, the best comes out on top. Similarly, that's what quantitative finance is, but in the end, you get efficient resource allocation, which is pretty awesome, in my opinion. And in general, the problems that we solve are very interesting, very cool. And I don't know, I really think you guys, if you gave it a shot, I think you would really like the work and also, the mission too. So, D.E. Shaw is a great place to do that if you're into that sort of thing. So if you are, just give us a call and go Battlecode.
Thank you so much. Wow, right there, I can really see what he's saying. Our players, we're one of the only, video game real-time strategy competitions where we just let the computers do the work, and I'm happy to let them do the work. I'm looking forward to the day when I am replaced by 1,000th of a Pentium computer above a communist bookstore, because it'll do my job better, and I'm always in favor of improvement. So with that, we'll move on to the finals round 2. And this time, we'll remember to push space. That one team versus Animorphs, if you'll come on up. Sorry for the double juke.
So now we're going to have a new set of maps since we are now in the second round of the winner's bracket.
We invite you to look at our beautiful tournament bracket, updated as things run, and to hear the introductions.
Well, I think both teams have already introduced themselves. But
Oh, right. Well,
right,
so you remember who's who?
Gone through all the teams.
All right. If
But-
they'll just stand on the right side, so the one on the correct side will be the right color, that would be great.
Sure.
So,
all right, I'll just start this.
So it's blue on the left.
All right, so I'm that one team in red, spawning on the right. All right, so I've quickly built a noise tower and a pasture here.
So we also built a pasture, and we waited until they built a pasture to try and attack.
All right, and they took it down, so now I'm going to try and rebuild it.
We're defending pretty well, but they just built another pasture, and then we took it out.
This could be repetitive.
And they're going to do it again, it looks like. And then we're pretty close, but then they just took it out.
All right, and we're going to rebuild our pasture again.
If we take this out,
Wow.
I believe one team denied the other one. Is that correct? There's a pasture deny?
I have code to do that, so I could believe that happened.
So that was really exciting, and I'm really nervous about this match now.
Yeah, so here, this is a small map, so I'm just going to rally in the center, and maybe we'll see some skirmishes, maybe not.
we're rallying too. We usually try and wait for the other team to build.
All right, now I'm attacking, but they're holding really well.
They're actually up in units, like 12 to 8 right now. And
So my guys tend to get injured and then run back and not fight.
it looks like they're building a pasture and just took ours out.
But we managed to take out their pasture while they were attacking, I think. So now we're going to rebuild.
They're looking pretty fast, and
all
right, and we were able to attack.
That was a good game.
So our
Round
very
three.
first match of this round is going to come down to a third game.
So it looks like I've decided to do, again, this strategy of waiting for them to build something and then attacking.
We're rallying towards the bottom because we think it's the most advantageous spot at the moment. It looks like they out-microed us and broke our pasture.
Yeah, so that was a good attack from us, I think. And again. So now we're going to try and build. Oh, we kind of got backdoored during the attack. All right, now I think we've got a pretty good robot count advantage. Oh, it's pretty close, actually.
Yep. Yeah, good game.
Our next match will be Armada versus Paddle Goats. You know, this year I've been astounded to see what appears to be an inversion of a stranded strategy.
Right.
And that is, I couldn't continue the rhyme. And that is, I feel like if you build more soldiers, that's sort of a long-term focused play.
That actually is, because once you build a structure that actually, obviously the structure can attack. And also the structure counts towards your robot count. And the more robot count you have, the slower you spawn more units. So building a pasture or a noise tower early on is actually a way to try and finish the game earlier.
That's right, so really the rush strat is to build a pasture. Anyway, teams.
So we're Team Armada.
And could you please stand in front of the podium area? Because you're actually pretty dark back
Yeah,
there.
a lot of light over here is really good. So.
Can you guys stand in front? Thanks.
We'll just go ahead. And you may notice that
we are on the right side.
you may notice that the robots are moving a little differently. They're moving a little cooler now.
Rush to
And that's
live.
because I pressed the B button, which is very useful for making the matches look more interesting. Because now the robots move continuously, I believe.
Yeah. So a little bit about our team name. Armada is a Super Smash Bros. Melee player. He is widely considered to be the best player in the world. He plays the character Peach, who I hate, but that's okay. That's why I'm wearing a princess hat, by the way, in honor of Peach. And our avatar icon thing, which you can't see right now, is a stitch-faced turnip, which is the strongest turnip that Peach can pull in Super Smash Bros. And yeah, so after a long micro battle, we built a pasture, and we successfully denied it, which is nice.
Looks like a lot of robots are in standoffs. If you look at the sort of middle, top right part of the map, a lot of robots are just looking at each other.
I believe this is what we call a Mexican standoff. They've all got several guns pointing in different directions. The sheriff has yet to arrive.
Oh yeah, my guys are probably trying to build a pasture right now, but they're stuck
Yeah.
bugging or something.
So luckily, his guys went very far away before coming to kill us. So our noise tower pasture actually got more than 10 million or 1 million milk. Nice.
So if you guys didn't know, that's one of the few matches that we've seen that's reached the round limit. 2,000 rounds, and then it comes down to who has the most milk.
Right, and if the teams are tied in milk, which rarely happens, it comes down to the number of robots destroyed, and then finally by team ID. But that rarely happens.
Now, as this Mexican standoff develops, I'd like to mention this map. I made this map way long ago, and it's meant to mimic some affordable housing units in the area. You can see that the design of the buildings maximizes the amount of window area that each unit gets.
So we traded pastures. We went around the long way because we try to take the roads that go near our HQ. So our movement is based on a kind of A-star / Dijkstra type thing. So we run Dijkstra out from our HQ giving us paths from our HQ to everywhere on the map. Incidentally, this helps us determine if locations are reachable. So this was especially helpful in the troll tournament, which we won. Yeah, so on the scrimmage server, Battlegoats has been out-microing us badly, so we were kind of afraid, but I guess we happen to be slightly greedier.
Yeah, it's because mine doesn't handle the shape very well.
So next up, we have losing really badly versus Proxy 2-Gate.
Gotta love that fan spirit up in the house. We'll see how these teams do on our fantastic maps. So we've got losing really badly.
See how this goes. See how many skirmishes happen in the beginning. So yeah, so I'm guessing Proxy's trying to surround us, so we're going to try to get out of it.
Yeah, a lot of suicides happening. We actually have anti-self-destruct micro, where if somebody walks toward us, then we know that they're suiciding and we split up. So, yeah. Hopefully that'll keep going well for us. We also have our guys heal if they get injured, so that's why they're going back to the HQ.
So we killed one pasture. I'm probably also going to be trying to build a pasture. I'm not sure if that's actually a good idea in this map, but I guess. I actually can't tell the soldiers because I can't actually read the numbers. Like
Yeah,
6
it's
and
really
0
hard to
looks really
see.
similar, but it looks like I'm holding onto that pasture. So hopefully, as long as it
that's
doesn't
suicide.
die, hopefully you'll be able to hit the round limit and win.
Game, game.
Right.
That's spacebar.
Yep. So I'm not sure what nav proxy uses, but if they bug like me, then we're probably going to have to spend quite a bit of time.
So we bug, and then once our HQ finishes computation, we start using more advanced pathfinding.
Yeah, I think my guys are a little bit too aggressive in trying to suicide, in that they don't necessarily take down somebody when they do a self-destruct.
Yeah, we only suicide in the best of situations.
Yeah, so what's probably going to happen is I'll probably self-destruct some units and then have them just get killed. And right now, my bots are bugging around, and I've been taking too long, so I'm probably going to lose this one.
Good game.
So I'd like to just take out of context that sentence, we only suicide in the best of conditions. Let's mark that for use later.
We have a method, good time to suicide.
So they have one soldier really low bottom, but it's going to be interesting seeing what happens. I'm guessing we're both trying to think about building a pasture around there, but they also have more units than me, so this is going to be interesting sort of micro.
Yeah, our micro, we end up having a ton of people who are injured, so we have a lot of people inactive, but hopefully later in the game that'll help us out.
You guys also have the duck hat, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, duck hat OP.
Yeah, bots don't build hats.
This looks like it's going to go pretty well for losing really badly. We have a lot of guys just hanging out near our HQ healing, and that's kind of the weakness of the healing strategy, the healing micro.
Yeah, so my bots actually try to heal where you're going to build a pasture in the future. So, so they'll build so in case there is a pasture up, it'll try to heal next to the pasture where hopefully there's other friendly units around.
Yeah, we were considering doing that. The reason why we decided not to is that it might mess up herding because
it's true.
of movement.
Yeah, I have my guys actually sneak if they're not in combat mode, if they're next to the pasture, but I'm lucky and win.
Next up is Jailmad versus 10-Hour Challenge.
So this is a pretty good matchup. I think we were pretty close on scrim servers, and it should be pretty interesting.
All right.
So there are a lot of interesting choices for where to rally that a lot of teams are doing. You've seen people rally to the middle. You've seen people rally to the enemy HQ. I just go for wherever my pasture is going to be built immediately. Because on maps like this, rallying to the middle is sort of difficult because the middle is not traversable. And rallying to the enemy HQ ended up very poorly when I tried it. So it looks like they have the lead right now, and I still have a noise tower, which is making me unable to get enough robots to attack.
I guess we're going for like, we rally for a bit and then we build a pasture. And when you build a pasture, depends on how big the map is. If it's bigger, then we probably should build it earlier.
Yeah, so I do a similar strategy. My triggers are mostly based off of the robot counts. And also if I get a robot lead, then I'll build a pasture immediately.
That sounds reasonable.
So it looks like I lost that because the map was pretty big and I ended up building the pasture first, and they were able to capitalize on the fact that I lost some robots.
Oh no!
So here are their navigation.
Here's my navigation. Oh my god.
So yeah, so navigation is a huge problem.
Can you click on the indicator string? How many bike is it taking?
We can't see
So
the indicator strings.
Oh my god.
So things exactly like this happened a lot during the seeding tournament. And now they're going to be coming in,
I
but
think that's not a navigation. It's like rally point.
we'll see how the okay. So we'll see how the fights end up and if they can get a milk lead before the end of the game. But they have a robot lead right now. Oh, okay. So the game is still gonna go for a while. So it's pretty much anyone's game right now. I think, yeah, so I have a robot advantage right now, which is good because it means that if they try to build a pasture, I should be able to take it down very quickly. The downside is if I make a pasture, they can also take it down very quickly. So we'll see what happens.
Not very much. You have like much more soldiers. Oh.
The round limit is approaching. 270 rounds
I think I'm going to
left.
make a pasture, maybe? Nope, doesn't look like it.
100 rounds left.
Yeah, I think this is a case where our retreat code is not good because then they chase us down and kill us.
Rally point.
So I'm not at all surprised that this is going to game 3 because our bots have been very close.
I don't really know like what's wrong because I changed rally point like 5 times during this like last 5 hours, so I don't really know what's wrong.
So here, okay, it looks like looks like there's a massive standoff. So this is a formation that that you might see a lot, but it depends on the parameters that different teams have. If both teams are relatively conservative, then you'll get standoffs like this. So I have a noise tower, which is going to be very bad for fighting.
Wait, oh yeah, so
And it looks like I built a
robots
pasture and
are
it died.
retreating and going back to HQ. I think it saved us in the end, kind of, but that was not that optimal.
Robot count is actually still very close, so it's going to come down to a micro war for the rest of the game. And then we're going to see who has the most milk at the end. I don't think this is going to go to 10 gigagal or 1 million milk. I think this will go to round limit.
Are you building? Is that what's happening?
I'm not sure. I should be building very soon. There it is.
Oh, wait. Ah. Yeah, what are we doing?
So it looks like I managed to defend, and maybe I'll take it out. Okay. Oh, the pasture lives.
Very close match. One of the closest we've seen so far.
That's right. Oh man, I just love seeing these close matches. Now we'll watch Cloud 8 versus B1 with Yuri.
So now we've gone into the losers bracket. So these teams are fighting to stay in the tournament right now.
B1 with Yuri spawning in blue on the left versus Cloud 8 in red on the right. B1 with Yuri represented by the cup.
Yeah, we rally in the middle, so that's probably not going to end well.
So it looks like mostly a micro battle right now. I think both teams are pretty microcentric.
Yeah, we try to get the unit advantage before we end up building anything.
Yeah. B1 with Yuri isn't here right now, but I think I can speak about his strategy. I think Yuri usually tries to get off a surround, as you can see here. His blue units are trying to enclose the red headquarters and prevent red units from getting out and building anything. And then once blue has a good surround, he can actually go off and build whatever pastures he likes.
This year we've seen teams have a lot of trouble breaking these contains. We've given them the advantage, slight advantage, that robots in the immediate vicinity of their headquarters cannot be detected by enemy robots.
Right, and by immediate vicinity we mean within 1 or 2 squares. So you see those red units straying off are still getting shot at.
The idea is so that they can, sort of gather up 8 guys and then move out. Blue builds a pasture. Probably a round limit trigger.
Right. So B1 Fury wins that pretty handily.
B1 with Yuri is going for the contain again. Not going to be as easy on this map.
Yeah, especially since he's not really containing much.
Well, he's on the wrong side of the building.
Yeah, that's a problem. But if you do get to the other side, containing may be easy depending on...
if you get to that right little area.
Yeah. Those poor blue units, they're just trying to contain.
Cloud 8 busts a contain and takes a 14 to 10 unit advantage. Now it's 13 to 11. Oh, here comes the contain. This is bad. He's got a couple of guys outside the wall. Can they break the contain? Or maybe build something. This robot here is collecting milk. He's collecting it.
Right, so in addition to pastures collecting milk, robots also collect a small amount of milk just from the square they're standing on, which is very useful for breaking ties in games like these when neither player builds a pasture.
Cloud 8, can you comment on your contingency code?
It doesn't exist. Yeah, we don't have any sort of round limit triggers. We just try to estimate whether we have a robot advantage before we build anything. So we're pretty conservative in terms of building stuff.
So it looks like Yuri's going to do the same thing as last game and pull back to build a pasture near the end. That's probably going to work out.
Yeah.
Now we've got Quotes versus Robots Descended Mythical.
Either one. Quotes is in red and Robots Descended is in blue here.
Fortunately, I don't have anything for Robots Descended. Yeah, I'm sorry to disappoint. I tried, but they were very discreet and removed all their indicator strings pretty consistently before each tournament.
How do you know we had them at all?
I don't. You caught me.
So it looks like we're executing our typical contain strategy. And we wait until a certain robot count before we try building a pasture noise tower.
once again, we see this contain strategy, which is perhaps one of the more prominent.
Right. It's if you're going to go on the offense and your opponent has no pastures that you can go after, the headquarters is probably one of the easier places to go after.
Now, we as developers have thought in our easy chairs while smoking our pipes in our fedoras. Not to say smoking the pipes through the fedoras, but wearing the fedoras.
All right.
While
Anyway,
we were thinking that a self-destruct would be the only way to break a contain, but we didn't actually run any examples of this because naturally that amount of play testing would require. Well, you get the idea.
Yeah, I think I did. Certainly, self-destruct is a good idea because it can damage many enemy units at once. Another idea is perhaps leaving your headquarters through a different route. In this map, it's actually possible because you could go out the back. But unfortunately, we didn't see Quotes do that.
That's what
Maybe
they do
we'll
a
see
lot
at this game.
Oh, yes? What's that?
I said maybe we'll see at this game.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, I think there is only one way to leave this game. The headquarters. So yeah, this contain probably ain't gonna work.
We'll try hard to contain them over the wall.
Now look at this herding from Quotes. Tell us about your unique strategy.
Well, my unique strategy is to have my soldiers shoot so that the milk goes near my pasture.
I noticed you were shooting in the absence of a pasture. Is that in anticipation of the pasture?
Yes, it is. Very astute observation.
I just think that's the coolest thing. You know, if you build a noise tower, not only do you lose that one robot, but it counts as 3 robots for the spawn rate. So I think just if you can use your robots, use the assets you've already got, it's just a much more elegant way to proceed.
I think so. Actually, so before the sprint tournament, the spawn delay was a little bit higher, so the penalty for having a noise tower was pretty big, I had thought. So I kind of committed to this approach.
You know, I think Quotes and I both have a very similar coding aesthetic, which, you know, if something is a certain way, that's how you should code, and if the game changes, then don't react to that.
I hope all the sponsor companies heard.
All right, we've got 6 pool versus the vegan police. Yeah, I remember previous Battlecode years, I would always code something up, then the devs would change something, and then when I lost horribly, I would blame it on them. That tended to work as well, because I would blame it on them when they weren't around. Anyway.
So this is a big map, so probably we're going to be doing the, we're just going to put pastures everywhere and hope that that works. Oh, we're up soldiers.
We start putting pastures everywhere when we get to 9.
Yeah, so we just hit our 9th trigger, so.
We just sort of chose 9. 9 is our favorite number.
So we better do this soon, or they're just going to win with that one pasture of theirs.
Here it comes. But it's not looking that good.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, look at those milk counts. Look at those
my.
totals. Oh,
Yes! Very close.
That was close.
Oh, man.
See, our 9 was perfect. It was the perfect number.
You know, I think users at home, anybody who's got a piece of paper, or if you're just good at memorizing numbers, we've got 7/16 pi. What was that? 7?
Yeah.
Pi over 16. 7
Oh,
pi over
God.
16 and 9.
That's not a good path right there.
No, it wasn't the best.
Anyway, just write down those numbers. They're really good.
For Battlecode.
Oh, geez. Oh.
6 pool at a huge milk advantage, but a huge robot disadvantage.
So we see 12 or 13 to 5 robots, and this is exactly what we were talking about. The long-term focus strategy is actually to build a lot of soldiers. Is it going to pay off, though? 1,100 rounds.
So we'll definitely build pastures at some point. I'm mostly worried that they're going to build a pasture and get 1 million milk before we can kill it.
850 rounds. Here it comes. Check the upper right. There it goes. He's going around.
All right.
Check out that total. 600 rounds.
Oh, God.
Some of them are going around. 700, 500 rounds. 900.
Yes. Very.
Oh, man. This has just been so exciting. Those
were some very intense matches.
So many intense matches with so many turnarounds. I just got to pat myself on the back.
So here we go again. We're going for the contain.
And which
we see
color
the
are you?
standoff. We're blue.
Okay.
It seems like the dumpster micro is going to kick into effect pretty soon.
Well, you guys seem to have built a hat. I don't really have any hat defense. So,
Right. We have the robot advantage, and yet we're waiting for the right moment to strike. And it seems the moment is nigh. After killing the pasture, we fall back and set up another
we
wall.
seem to be staring at you guys while waiting for more units.
The
It's
hat
not really
does
going
draw a
that
lot of
well.
looks.
I feel like one of us made a self-destruct play there at the end. I'm not sure which of us it was.
One of us.
But
Yeah, let's hear about your formation.
Yeah, so our micro is based on 3 ideas. We try to optimize the damage flow towards the enemy in any sort of micro engagement, and try to never lose a guy ever, which works out sometimes, and then greedily search for good self-destructs, and if you see one, take it. That's pretty much the whole thing.
Well, what we try to do is we try to find a good location to build a pasture, and we try to get there and defend it, but we seem to be getting stuck at the bottom, which is all according to plan.
So we see Blue's pasture going up, actually.
So yeah, we've started building on the left, and the standoff continues on the right. Hopefully our defense will hold, and it appears it will.
So now we're progressing to our second round of losers bracket matches.
So some of you in the audience might be thinking they're referring to me, but this is actually our famous Max Nelson.
I can't say anything.
So proxy 2 gate in red, represented by our 2 dashing representatives.
So we have a slight robot advantage, but the battle is like really spread out, so that could turn at any time.
I'm noticing that B1 with Yuri sends his injured soldiers way off the heck in the middle of nowhere. Like this guy.
Oh, those are actually ours, but you know, whatever. I'm sure we'll build a pasture at some point. Although micro battles are very fun to watch.
So Red has just put down a pasture. It looks like he also has a robot advantage, so he
Hopefully
should be able to defend it.
Not give up too much ground. Uh-oh,
his
they can shoot
pasture's
us.
getting shot at.
We see that a lot.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not as good to retreat a little bit when you're trying to defend a pasture.
Luckily, we managed to deny their pasture when it came up. Unfortunately, we have a few guys just hanging out near the bottom of the little cross in the middle, so those guys are a little bit unhappy, and we're a little bit unhappy with them.
Proxy 2-gate still manages to win.
This is a dire situation for our Team B1 with Yuri, which, being in the loser's bracket, stands to possibly be knocked out of the tournament. Nevertheless, all these top teams are winners.
So luckily for this map, we do have our ideal pathfinding after a while, and our bug doesn't influence us too badly. And we have those two guys who are trapped. I'm kind of worried about them. Looks like they might die. Yep. Fortunately, though, a lot of the other micro battles were going pretty well for us, and we managed to defend our pasture.
Oh, a very valuable pasture.
There we go.
Very.
All right.
Congratulations.
Now, I believe we've got one of the audience's favorites here, Jalman versus Robots Descended Mythical. Uh-oh, it looks like a contain is beginning to start, but do those blue robots recognize that 4 robots are outside?
No. If they build a pasture, we will suddenly try and mobilize.
If you're not...
We're going to build pasture until there are like 5 soldiers, so... Also, this is like small map strategy, so we'll never build pasture first.
It looks like actually Red has the unit advantage, even though he's being surrounded. But that's probably counting the 3 or 4 units.
Red actually has the milk advantage from destroying that pasture. A bit of an unexpected turn.
So our units are in a standoff right now because they're too afraid to die, and then we don't have anything to get out of the micro mode. Because before our micro just died, so it didn't matter, and we could just. If you're fighting, you just probably die. And you can just walk to the next place. But now sometimes when we want to go somewhere, we just stay there and don't do anything.
Red lost that pasture, but it managed to pay for itself. So when a pasture is destroyed by the opponent, it gives them 1 million milk. So if you manage to get more than 1 million out of that pasture, it kind of counts as a profit. Although it may not, depending on how close your opponent is to
So
victory.
we had some code that would create...
So blue needs to catch it. Oh, no.
Oh, that was a round limit.
Yeah, that was the round limit.
Oh, so close. Oh.
That's the same map. Oh my god, I don't want to see it again.
Oh, no.
I think that's the rally point. We set rally point too close to HQ so they don't like get out.
Well, okay, so let's think this through.
If they don't build pastures, they just
looks like they're
win
getting
because
out,
we won't get out.
Looks like they're
Oh, but
gradually
they
spilling out.
wait.
I think our guys got into micro mode because other people were nearby, so they kind of jiggled a bit.
Oh, here comes 2 pastures.
Oh.
Oh. Very close game. 1,100 rounds left for Red to build a pasture.
The milk doesn't look like it's very close.
The squares are dense.
So that means that once you build a pasture anywhere...
Here it comes. Here's a pasture for Red.
I think that's a noise tower, actually. The pasture is coming up after. So blue needs to get into this.
Oh, no. Oh, no, the defense. 96. 600 rounds remain.
They're trying again.
Here comes another.
Fortunately, I don't
96.
think they have the units.
Gonna lose it.
So it's 1-1, and this is the final game of the match.
Interesting factoid. We like pre-calculate where we would build our pastures, and we also have a heuristic for determining how well we think we can defend any pasture we build, and we use that to determine what kind of strategy we're going to build on that map, or use on that map. Oh my God, that's so scary. Well, all right, I guess.
So we
this
have
seems to be
code
a-
that will create a pasture and noise tower combo towards the end of the game.
I really hope we don't build another
We're
pasture
not
because.
sure.
Okay. Okay, because. This
But I
is
think
all
it'll
right
be
if
the
it
same
just
location
holds,
that we built
I
it the
guess.
first time.
This is going to
Like that
come down to
guy.
the round limit. We're going to see what their what actions these robots take when the round limit approaches, and it looks like they do nothing. Oh, they're doing something different. Not too much.
Yeah, we have no like condition based on round limit.
Jalmad, moving on.
Yep.
Probably feeling that strain, feeling that stress. These contestants are all, they're all really pushing for that win. Battlecode means a lot to a lot of people.
Yep.
So we're almost certainly going to build lots of pastures again. Yeah.
So good news, we have our units split up when they build multiple pastures. I don't know if it'll work properly, but we'll see. So we're on the attack now. We have a lot of units down at the bottom, and then we're sending them back up top.
Not in time.
They're slightly ahead in milk.
Oh, it's so close. Animorphs sending out individual
looks
strike
like-
teams.
yeah.
Oh, so close. What?
Oh.
$1
So
million.
you'll note that red team was actually sending out small groups or actually small individual robots to go and destroy each pasture, possibly because it detected that there was just so many being built.
Oh, and that made the difference. That was 10 million to 9,875,000.
How'd you remember those?
Oh, whoa. We're building a pasture. Yeah. Oh, God. Well, we traded. We're down soldiers. Huh? We're up soldiers now. Yeah, so we're doing a different strategy than we've done before. We just build one noise tower pasture at the beginning, and then attack for a while, and then sometime later, we'll probably build more if we're losing. Although if we're winning, I don't know if we will.
So right now we just keep trying to build pastures, but they're taking them out because it's a relatively small map before we can do anything.
We don't want to shift. Yeah, like
600 rounds left.
Blue's got an overwhelming robot and milk advantage here.
He's got 17 to
So-
5. Part of the trouble might be because Animorphs has a noise tower. It's not really contributing much.
Right. That noise tower is going to be hampering his ability to spawn more soldiers.
Oh,
Oh, well,
God.
it just got taken down.
Oh,
But it
God.
might be a little too late.
There's one pasture. It's a little late.
I don't know why we decided to do that.
This is the third round. So we'll see what the teams do on this map.
We're not building lots of pastures on this map. We were worried we were gonna, but it's because of team memory, I think. We lost when we built lots of pastures and won when we didn't, so it makes it a lot less likely to.
So it looks like they're going to backdoor our pasture, but we kill theirs too. We're slightly up in units though, and so we build another pasture. We try and defend.
This is not good.
If you can please, coming around the side, coming around the front, moving in.
They need to
moving
get that.
in.
They need to get that.
Pops it. 958, 959.
Oh, they need to get that one too.
Oh, they've only got a second. They've only got 1 second. Do it! Holy crap! 9.9. It's as close as it can possibly be.
Oh my God.
This is not a PG-rated stream. This match, he's got 700 rounds to build something. He's got, here come the red guys. If they just walk over too many cows.
Blue fends them off.
Blue fends them off. He's
There we go. We're just building lots of pastures.
He's built a ton of pastures. He's
No.
gonna lose one.
No, it's going to go down.
Good game.
Oh, I gotta
That was
say,
very-
you guys,
Very close.
we have another couple of those, and I'm just gonna need to lie down. Oh.
So, Battlecode's has historically been a pretty strong team, so there's a significant chance things will not go well for us.
I mean, it's the same two maps, so I'm going to make the same pathfinding mistakes. I can't tell which robots are mine.
It looks like we are slightly down on robots, but we have a pasture, which we're about to lose.
I think we've seen a lot of this. One team will wait
Right.
for the other to build a pasture before building its own.
Yep. Because once the other team has a pasture down, you know that they have.
And it
at
seems
least
like
one less
I'm not
robot.
actually doing that.
we're going to lose because we're down on robots, and that's pretty much it.
I start building a pasture when I have 10, that's it.
I think we've seen some evolution in the metagame. You know, which team builds a pasture first.
We may get lucky that Paddle Goats won't path well, but we might, trick him into pathing well when we move into his headquarters.
Oh, that big self-destruct.
That's not good.
It appears the standoff continues.
Oh, you
But
broke a
Paddle
few of
Goats
them
with the
out of it.
strong self-destructs really
Are you building a
bringing the
pasture right
noise.
there on the left?
And it appears we're starting to farm. We'll see if Paddle Goats can get to us.
So it seems like on this map, we've seen a lot of teams who get helped out by their opponent pastures because they manage to finish navigating once the enemy pasture goes up.
It's true.
It's not quite intended, but very interesting.
Yeah, we're going to get backdoored
So
here.
even though
but
Red has
barely-
a unit advantage, he
barely
needs to
holding
take
it
down this
together.
pasture.
And we barely take it.
Didn't happen. And once again, this is coming down to the third game, or was it match? I thought it was game.
So you may have noticed that our noise tower milking strategy looks a little bit different from some other teams. We milk in a spiral, whereas other teams milk in a linear pattern. There's sort of some trade-offs. I think the spiral pattern in the long run is a little bit better, but in the short run, it can lose out on some cows if there's a battle nearby. Looks like we're gonna start building soon. Ooh, that's not good.
Oh.
Yeah, we couldn't get back to defend because there was a wall in the way. Oh, there are a lot of standoffs going on right now. So we're trying to get to that spot where we built a pasture before, but we're not moving over there because there are enemy units over there. And that's also causing us to not go attack that pasture because we're trying to get to our pasture location.
Oh no.
And that's it.
So now we are in the next winner's bracket round.
Yeah,
and we have new maps.
And if you look at the winner's bracket up on the right-hand screen, you'll see that these two teams are competing for a very prestigious spot among the two that will compete to be the one that will compete for the first place victory.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
That does make sense.
We'll need it more than you.
And here it goes.
All right, so I'm that one team spawning on the left. It looks like I'm going to build a pasture really quick on this map.
Yeah, so we're Armada, we're blue. He built a pasture, and we're going to follow the road there in sort of impressive fashion. And now we're going to get out microed because we are really just kidding. Nice.
So a bunch of my guys were healing up and didn't feel like fighting.
Yeah, so an interesting thing is a lot of teams decide to heal their robots by sending them all back home.
All right, so if we built, we're trying to herd as much as we can before they come kill us again.
Yeah, but we send our guys like just back slightly to heal, and I think sometimes this is beneficial. But
one advantage of retreating to heal is that you can rebuild really quickly once the other guys lose interest.
Yeah, that's true.
Here's a map we haven't seen before.
Yep. It looks randomly generated, but in fact it isn't. I actually handmade all of this.
So my guys in red are just rallying in the center?
Yeah, and we are rallying to our first pasture location. This should be interesting because I think our pasture will be partially protected by our HQ, which will make it harder to reach.
So we got some skirmishes going on, which look very even.
Blue has a slight robot lead.
Oh, yeah. So if it gets to around 1,000, then I'll start to build something.
Yeah, I think our build trigger is based on either having an advantage or having enough robots.
Here comes a pasture.
So I think we're building a pasture right now.
No, that's just
And so am I.
Pasture's coming next.
So all my guys got hurt and scared, too scared to fight.
It's very hard to get through there because it's...
Our anti-suicide micro is a bit lacking, so we repeatedly lose lots of guys to a single suicide.
Looks like they've got a big robot count advantage because we lost all the fights.
Yeah. So I think the reason we were able to win the fight is because we were next to our HQ. But we were going to lose the pasture and trade. And I think we're going to probably try to rebuild that pasture sometimes. I don't know why we went there.
So in red on the bottom, we're going to rebuild that pasture and going to get annihilated.
Neither team has a pasture.
Looks like Armada will win.
Yeah, so our robots are currently confused, but... So there's actually a problem in our code at the end there. When our robots... When our robots are get confused about whether they want to go build a pasture or to attack the enemy pasture, so they were kind of dancing back and forth in the middle of nowhere.
All right, so my guys in red are spawning on the left and rallying to the center again.
Yeah, and I think that he has a somewhat of a contain on us. It's kind of hard to see, but he has a robot count advantage slightly. As you can tell, this is very exciting.
I believe in the commentating world, this is referred to as tense.
Oh, so we built a noise tower pasture at our HQ.
So that's going to be really hard to attack. I'm going to respond by trying to build in the center of the map.
Yeah. So the reason for that is because we detected there were enough cows nearby, and we weight spots near our HQ higher. Unfortunately, our micro is very scared, and we're unwilling to attack because we are stuck in that small choke point right there.
Yeah, the choke points make it really easy to defend. And it looks like we've got a slightly better herding spot in the center.
You know, I want to say I think that's a pretty slick strat to recognize that your opponent is building a basically unbeatable location and then just build elsewhere. Because we were very worried as devs that all teams would just build next to their invulnerable headquarters. Right.
All right, so my thoughts are going to rally halfway towards the headquarters.
So fun fact, losing really badly did basically no scrims, so I have no idea how this matchup goes, unlike the other matchups.
Although the no scrims is probably really bad for me, though, but I guess we'll see.
So it looks like I'm probably going to build pastures first because I think 12 is my 12 robots is my threshold on this map size. And
okay, we take it
I
down.
got out microed, so I think it'll just be game from here because I don't think I'll be able to attack into this.
So I generally try to keep like roughly 2 or 3 soldiers and plus any injured soldiers defending my pasture, and then everyone else goes out and tries to pick a fight. So hopefully I can keep them at bay. Oh, this is a really tiny map.
So this map is going to be really interesting. On smaller maps, my pasture threshold is much higher. And generally on small maps, whoever builds a pasture first loses. So we'll see who decides to build first.
Yeah, so oh, good.
My threshold should be at 16 robots.
My threshold's at 1,000 rounds, or if they build a pasture, or if they have a quarter of the win amount.
Okay, so I built first. And it looks like I'm getting out microed, but it looks like he went to go build. Oh, no, he decided to attack. Okay.
Yeah.
So this should be another clean win for losing really badly. Yeah, as you can see, all right, you probably can't see because it's really hard to see from far away, but the robot count is 16-4.
You know, sometimes you watch a game of professional StarCraft and it's over in the first, minute and a half, but it keeps going on for 45. At least these matches,
End relatively quickly?
Yes.
You mean? Yeah. And we're back to the losers bracket with Proxy 2Gate and Jalmad.
Jalmad immediately building a pasture.
I think this is a small map pasture, small map this is a medium map strategy. So you actually build pasture first and defend.
Unfortunately, a lot of our guys got split up, so we're not microing to our full potential right now.
Seems like it's okay.
So does Jalmad, do you guys rebuild your pasture once it goes down, or?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Looks like that's good enough. So small map, hopefully our micro will work a little bit better.
It looks like we're just building a pasture at the beginning again. And some sort of let's hope all the walls will help us. But all our low health soldiers are just actually running away. Even when they're defending a pasture.
Yeah, we have a few guys who are bugging around right there, so we weren't fighting. Hopefully we'll fight soon. I don't think so.
That's really good pasture location.
Yeah, it's really hard to get in there, so I don't know if we'll be able to get it before it won't matter anymore.
So we actually decide our strategy according to how difficult, how easy a pasture can be defended. So actually, taking account walls and the distance between our pasture and other the enemy HQ location.
That's an amazingly advanced strategy. You might think that just the whole game's about herding, but really, where to herd.
That's true.
I think is incredibly hard. You know,
Actually, determining a good pasture location is actually a very difficult task. You have to consider a lot of things, and you have to make a lot of trade-offs between computation time and how much you want to look for.
That's right.
I had a lot of trouble writing the reference player just because of that. I really didn't know how to find the best pasture location. So here we have Animorphs versus Paddle Goats. Animorphs in red, Paddle Goats in blue.
So it looks like they're surrounding our base, and we just built a pasture.
Animorphs is trying to defend his pasture in the bottom left. They're about equal. Blue has slightly more robots. Very slightly more.
For some reason, we didn't build our noise tower, so we're not hurting as fast.
Blue now has an advantage in soldiers.
Hopefully we can stall out long enough for either the round count or the 10 gigagallons. The robots are about even now again. For those who can't see.
Wow. Very good defense by Animorphs.
Don't tell me you're building in there.
Yeah, I think we're trying to build in the corner, or at least we're going to wait it out and then try.
Could it be?
Probably won't get to you.
We just built one.
Oh, no.
Oh, Animorphs, did you know that was impossible to access?
What? No. We had no idea. We don't take into account walls.
No, not literally impossible.
But they have a lot of units in that area, but one of their units, I think, is blocking themselves. We have a noise tower there, but it's not doing much.
No, it's not literally impossible. HQ doesn't go that far.
Wow, this map, which is on the face of it, you know, quite mushy and ugly looking, is really quite nuanced. No offense, obviously.
No, of course not.
Yeah. So it looks like we got pretty lucky with this map, I think. Both maps. Yeah. I don't know what else there is to say for this.
Only 150 rounds left.
Right. Looks like unless Blue makes some amazing play here, that Red is going to take this game.
Okay, so these people actually live on the same hall as we do, and they beat us in the scrim. So
I think we're going pretty close in scrims. But yeah, we live in the same hall as the two guys on their team, Dennis and Xiaoyang. So a funny story is that Jawmad, the name Jawmad is composed of the first letters of their first names, JLMD. But it's also very similar to Josh's MIT username. So his name is Josh Allman, which is Jalman. And we were really confused when we discovered that their team name was Jawmad, because we were like, oh, is Josh like really angry or something? But it turns out it was completely unrelated. So yeah, so right now we have a robot count advantage, but we are very far away from their pasture, and we are microing. Okay, we were really scared of their pasture, and we killed it. Nice!
Oh. One of Blue's soldiers destroyed Red's pasture.
We
at
looked
the
out
very
there
end. That brought
because
them
even though they
to
won
victory.
every engagement.
Back. Yeah, so we were, I think, too indecisive about when to attack there.
Okay, now Jiaoyan's pasture location. Go. Yeah, so this is the mid-map strategy game where we try to build a pasture. Now let's hope
so
we
we are
can.
going to fail horribly now.
No, soldiers, go back. Don't go forward. What
so
are you doing?
I guess, luckily, the pasture location here is not that efficient, so it's possible that we'll be able to. Nice. So I think we might go build a pasture sometime soon now. Maybe. I guess not. No, this surround is not at all deliberate. So we are in micro mode, and we decided that, hey, there are enemy guys here, so let's stand here. And now we're building a pasture in the bottom right. We'll see if we can successfully defend it.
Well, our soldiers are going to be stuck in micro mode as well, so
Yeah,
we're probably not going to.
We're going to like stuck there like forever, I guess.
Yeah, so both of our teams, I think, have very conservative micro, because we decided that. So one interesting part about this year's game is that movement and attack delay are in the same timer. So in particular, if you move forward, then your enemies get a free shot off on you. So a lot of the better teams have micro, which is more conservative, so it's less willing to attack, because if you walk into enemy range, you take a free shot, and that's not as good for you. So both our micro and Jawmat's micro is very conservative, which is why we formed the line here.
It looks like it's just going to be over
almost
now.
approaching the robot limit here. But
I hope we won't get stuck.
So yeah, we did the HQ noise tower strat here. It's unclear what will actually happen. Yes. So we're rallying in an interesting place. So this might be why we lost our last match in this map, because we're rallying in like a choke point. Okay, but they built a pasture first, so we might be able to attack them if we can get through this little area. Oh no, they didn't build a pasture. They built a noise tower.
Won't build pasture there because we see the enemy.
Okay, so they built a noise tower. So now.
So this is just bad for our spawn rate. The only hope we have for winning is if you stand there the whole time and we're standing on more cows. Oh shoot, never mind. So we have no hope for winning then.
Yeah. So we have an extremely poor pasture right beside our HQ. Luckily, they're too afraid to build a pasture. So if this holds out, then we'll inch our way to victory.
You know, I consider this match to be rather appropriate on a turtle map. It's the speed that both teams are moving. Indeed.
So we're doing the one base turtle strat. Yeah, so this is unfortunate, I guess.
the match will be ending in about 100 turns.
Yeah, so one interesting thing about our noise tower is that we try to path around obstacles. Unfortunately, when there are robots moving around nearby, it's not very good.
All right, we've got 10-hour challenge versus Animorphs.
So I think in scrims this was one of my worst matchups, but anything can happen, and I don't think we scrimmed particularly close to the end of the ladder. So who knows? Okay, so what's happening here is they have a really nice line, and it held me off.
Kind of looks like it's just gonna happen. And
So it'll happen again. Eventually, some of my robots got to the edge of the line and sort of broke in, but didn't get enough of a lead to actually take out the pasture. So it looks like they're going to just be able to farm for the win. They might have lost their noise tower. It looks like they lost the noise tower, but not the pasture.
Yeah. Sometimes the noise tower just slows you down. All right, so looks like we're going to the corner, trying to build a pasture there, because it's easier to defend, or maybe just randomly we chose there.
So my player actually sucks at defending, so my hope is that they build first, and then I can somehow get a lead off of that.
They're charging us.
Which happened, but they are holding the choke, and I don't think I'll be able to get in. So what happens here is that they have 3 robots guarding the choke, and my robots never move into range of 3 robots simultaneously because that's almost always a bad idea. So I'm never gonna even like attempt to break this choke.
For the second straight time, we got really lucky and built near a choke. So, thanks, devs.
Our noise tower doesn't seem to be doing anything right now, though, and that's probably because of bug. The HQ.
Unfortunately for me, my bots never like build a pasture if the enemies have a pasture that we want to attack, and that's the case here. So this is just going to be a standoff till the end of the game.
Yeah, it can be difficult. It can be difficult to plan for every edge case, and the devs are known to be on the more trolly side of people.
So this map was actually interesting because, as noted earlier, the HQ sort of defends half of the pasture location. And when my bots were trying to get in at the beginning of the match, like that slowed them down a lot, and it allowed the enemies to get their defense up in time.
Alrighty, so now things are really beginning to heat up. Our losers bracket has gotten down to, what is it, the final 2?
I think we have the final 3 right now.
Final 3, so it's getting
final 4.
Well,
or 5,
okay, there's a
that.
final number, all right, and it's almost as good a
Definitely a
number
single-digit number.
as 9.
it's a
So
little
so what we're going to do now is I'd like to ask up, so as sort of to build the suspense, one of our sponsors. So can we hear from 2 Sigma? We got a 2 Sigma representative who could come up.
Why is it showing up? It's plugged in.
I can do that.
You sure? Wait, we can probably fix this. Can you signal the AV people?
So it looks like we have a little bit of technical trouble with our connection.
Yeah, we were just on this a bit ago.
We have a savior coming to our rescue.
We've got this on input 4 here.
There you go. There we go.
You know, unplugging and replugging is like...
Yeah. Hi guys, I'm Chris. MIT class of 2008. I was course 6-3, so that's computer science for all of you guys who don't know that. I'm sure you guys all know that. And I'm also a former Battlecode alum. Never did as well as Albert did, but I made it to the finals a couple of times. So I apologize for this slide. Our lawyers make us do this. So I'm going to tell you a bit about 2 Sigma, how it's a great place to work, and why it's a place that everyone who participates in Battlecode should consider joining. So who are we? So we are a technology company. We are headquartered in the great neighborhood of Soho in New York. And we happen to manage a couple $1 billion of other people's money. So what makes us different from other people who supposedly manage other people's money? And the answer is that we are basically a software company. We believe that just like the world's best chess player, the world's best Jeopardy player is a computer. We also believe that the world's best investor is also a computer. We believe that using computing power to analyze huge amounts of data in a smart, sophisticated way is the way forward for investments. And so, but how do we do this? This is where we need your help. We need the help of people like you, people from MIT, people who participate in Battlecode, to help us solve these problems. If you are interested in big data, if you enjoy your statistics classes, you like your machine learning classes, what's the class these days? Is it still 867? If you enjoy just searching through large amounts of data, looking for trends, looking for patterns, looking for interesting problems to solve, we want you here as a modeler. But perhaps you're not so much into big data. Maybe you're not so much into quantitative stuff. Maybe you're more of a pure computer science person. Maybe you're a software engineer. We want you too. We need people to help us organize our data, to help us classify our data, to help us build tools to explore this data. So if you are into software architecture, if you are into performance optimizations, if you're into user interfaces for data, if you're into even pure data structures and algorithms, computer science stuff, we have a job for you. Come look for us. So one of the things that happens at 2 Sigma is that we solve a lot of interesting problems. And our problems are all really difficult. And as a result, all the people that we have are the best of the very best, people like you guys. So if you're interested in looking for like-minded people, people who are really smart, people who want to solve difficult problems in science, technology, computer science, math, just general problem solving, and you want to exchange ideas, you want to learn from other people, come look for us. So we are not just a software company in the people that we have and the problems that we do, but also in our culture. So people describe us as being very team-focused, very collaborative, very casual, very friendly, very nerdy, just like MIT in some sense. And just like MIT, just like how you would like your Battlecode experience to be, we are somehow both simultaneously fast-paced and laid back. So if you're interested in all of this, do come and look for any of us after this talk. And I'd just like to do a quick plug for our internship program. It's a great program. You get to sit on a trading floor, sit next to our traders, sit next to the best quantitative researchers. We also have full-time offers, obviously. And that's it. So thank you very much.
Next, we'd like to hear from Akamai. So everyone give a round of applause for Akamai.
Good evening. First of all, I want to congratulate all of you for all the great work that you've done. It's been a real pleasure watching the competitions today. That's really impressive. My name's Ron Cheney. I was a Core 6 grad from MIT. I also have a PhD from the MIT AI lab, which is now part of CSAIL. And so at Akamai, we like to say that we make the internet fast, reliable, and secure. And so I thought I'd tell you just a little bit about something that's going on now that you might be interested in and how we do that. So we're working with NBC, who's our customer, to help deliver the Olympics over the internet in the United States. And we're working with several others of our customers to deliver Olympic and other Olympic-related traffic all over the world. So how do we do this? We have a network of about 140,000 or more servers deployed all over the world in 90 countries that are available for our customers to optimize traffic to all the users out there. And so the Olympics present an interesting challenge for the internet. For one thing, the content that is produced is all coming from Sochi, Russia. And so if without the technology that we have, which distributes the delivery of internet content all over the world with those servers that I was describing, you might imagine some enormous data center in Sochi with all that content trying to deliver servers, trying to deliver the content to all of us. Well, our technology allows us to distribute to the servers all over the world. And in the process of doing that, we have technology that routes the traffic from the origin, in this case Sochi, to our servers and then to our customers, and then to the end users on behalf of our customers. So imagine here we are in Boston, the Boston area, and we're interested in a figure skating event. The Akamai technology will route that traffic to us. And let's say that figure skating is really popular here in the Boston area. So there might be a lot of demand for that traffic here in the area. Our servers, our technology will route, balance the load of that delivery across as many servers as we need in order to give the best possible experience for all of us who are watching that content. And similarly, other types of content might be popular in other parts of the world. So we can optimize that traffic for each of our end users. And so this technology, in addition to benefiting all of us as consumers of internet content, also benefits the internet at large because the optimization helps to balance the load and minimize actually the resource utilization of the internet. So even though we don't work with every customer out there delivering content, the internet is more efficient because of the technology that we've developed. So one of the reasons that I really like working at Akamai is that because of the scale of what we do, because we're on the cutting edge of making the internet work faster, more reliable, and more secure, there are a lot of really hard, interesting problems that we can solve. I like to think of it as a really good hybrid between working on the kinds of problems that you might encounter in a research lab on one hand, and yet having the opportunity to make a difference in the world as far as the technology evolves and actually gets put into use. So we also have an internship program. Check us out on our website. And we're here in the back. We'd love to talk to you. Pick up a set of earbuds along the way if you need them. Again, congratulations and have fun.
All right, thank you so much. I just really love all the opportunities that are available here at MIT. We live in such a great world, and that's why, imagine I put a great segue here. Well, let's go back to the matches. So we got that one team versus losing really badly.
This is the final match of the winner's bracket.
And so the winner of this will play against the winner of the loser's bracket.
That's right.
So don't think this is the end of the end.
So in the team tournament, we also played. I got out-microed pretty hard, so hopefully let's see what happens here.
So it looks like I've built a quick pasture, trying to be a little greedy, and it got taken down.
So now that he built a pasture, I'm going to try to counter and build one myself, because otherwise I'm just going to run out of milk.
So I sent some attackers, and they got surrounded and picked off, and then so did my pasture.
My pasture is somehow still alive, luckily. Milking well, hopefully. Units are okay.
Gonna make one last attempt to build, and it's gonna get taken down really fast.
All right. So I noticed that one team often chooses either to rush pastures or to just sit in the center and like rally for a while. So it looks like
Right here, we're going for the greedy strategy where we build fast and we're going to get attacked.
Right.
But we sort of distracted them for a bit. Maybe we'll get enough milk to
hopefully my guys can
make it worth
swarm and
it.
kill it quickly enough.
Yep,
Okay,
got
so-
taken down. We got some milk.
Yeah, get some milk. Hopefully my guys, oh my gosh, my guys seem pretty surrounded, so. My soldiers have problems with positioning, because positioning is actually really hard. If you just get a soldier surrounded by a bunch of other soldiers, they can all just move in and kill you, and there's not much you can really do about it. So getting your soldiers next to friendly soldiers is really hard.
So my guys have actually been fighting desperately to retake this area because they want to rebuild their pasture. Now it looks like they're, I don't really know what they're doing.
I think it might actually be funny. We might actually be trying to build a pasture in a similar location. It's just that they might actually be just out of sight radius with each other. But we fight again, and I guess the soldier count is pretty much dead even.
Yeah, my guys seem pretty afraid. So what happened is they got 5 million milk, and I decided that was too much, and went into an aggressive mode, I think.
Yeah.
So now maybe we have control of this area and can build.
Oh. I think I'm down on yeah, I'm down a lot of soldiers, so I don't think I can actually stop this anymore. Good game. Yeah, off to 3-0. This is like a relatively short map. I guess they're both choosing rally in the center, so I guess it's gonna be a question of who has better micro. And my soldier at the very far left is looking pretty out of position right now.
So interestingly, we played a total of 7 games, I think, in the seeding tournament, and went 4-3. So we're keeping it close again.
Yeah. Soon the 1,000 round will hit, but I don't think. I guess soldiers are actually even. It's just that mine are really spread out, and he got self-destruct off. Hopefully, my soldiers didn't actually die, and they're just trying to regen the health back.
Looks like he actually got a robot count advantage in that skirmish. But soon I'll try and build.
Okay, the 1,000 round mark is about to hit. We're both going to probably try to build pastures soon, because I think we chose the same constant for that. So, and we're both going
Very
to be
symmetrical
fighting.
pastures. Not looking good.
So a lot of my guys are actually really low though, so like the soldier count might be really.
Oh man, these are some.
They're getting very close.
These games are getting so close. All these teams are just incredible, just great. I don't know if everybody in the lecture hall and everybody in the audience knows this, but I wrote a bot.
Yep.
And it can't beat any of these guys.
Good luck.
Yeah, you guys ready? Let's go.
Okay, so we're rallying directly to our pasture location. They're also probably doing the same thing. They built a pasture, so we're going to attack it. It's kind of a choke point, so we're having some trouble. Oh, we decided to build our own. So interestingly, Animorphs doesn't like to build a noise tower very early. So their herding is actually not as fast. But now we traded pastures.
There actually was a noise tower there, it just wasn't working.
Never mind.
My bad. So I think we killed their pasture and then are building another one.
So I think we're going to trade pastures again.
Yep.
But ours has a noise tower, so it was a little bit more efficient.
I think our units stuck around for too long though, so they got wiped out when they came back.
Oh, it's a close game. He's going to get a few more milk this way. Look at these two teams.
Oh wow!
Oh, and
Look
another
at these
pasture
two
trade.
Trading pastures.
Yeah, so we repeatedly trade because we prioritize attacking.
Here it comes.
Oh,
It's coming
now
down
we
to
have
the
a pasture
line.
and a pretty good
Comes
spot.
down to the wire.
It's
Here
a
comes
good
another
point,
one.
but-
Oh, he's getting a couple more milk.
game.
Oh wow!
I mean, yeah, we probably shouldn't have traded. We probably should have checked for richer locations before we trade.
The teams up here are mentioning the negative cows. We implemented that for a troll tournament that was shown at the final celebration.
Where our team and their team were the two top teams on the troll tournament, which means we spent too much time thinking about things that didn't matter.
It actually looks pretty even right now, but we have a pasture and they're stalling out in front of it.
Yeah, so Animorphs, can you explain how you choose your like new pasture locations? Because so we just keep rebuilding the same place, whereas you guys like seem to intelligently choose like new places to build.
We have 16 different slots, and we choose the best one in each type. And it's a function of how much growth there is, as well as how close it is to our HQ.
I see. Yeah, so we also compute a lot of locations, but then we only ever choose one.
A very close game, an extremely close game.
We're going to rebuild the pasture.
I think we're pretty close in units right now. Oh, and then
Let's defend that.
Good game.
Armada wins 2 close games. So now this is the.
So now this is that one team versus
this is the
Armada.
final match of the losers bracket. So this will determine who goes up
hello
against
there.
losing really badly for the finals.
For the absolute #1. You know, we only give away one first place each year.
That's true. I think that's tradition.
And it's a coveted place. Yeah, we're talking about
All right.
a lot.
So I think my guys in red wanted to build in that left upper lobe, and then they found some blue guys already there, so they're unhappy about that. And then they all got killed.
Okay, yeah, so he was very greedy. Luckily, because that spot is very good, he was able to get like a lot of milk for that pasture.
So my robots are actually trying to build 2 pastures at once. Only one of them is actually getting up because they're building in the other location. And happily, it's herding unmolested a little while, but then it got taken down.
Yeah.
Right, now we're trying the other location and getting killed.
Yeah, so because I guess they have 2 groups trying to herd or trying to rebuild simultaneously, they're going to herd faster.
Here comes
All right,
89.
we're going to get taken down before we get to...
That can't happen again.
Yeah,
Right,
it's going to
here we
happen
go again
again.
in the lower right.
Oh no!
But he's got a guy there.
There's a soldier.
Yeah, it's going to finish. We're too slow.
He's doing the shooting.
Oh no!
It's because we repeatedly try to go like attack instead of like defend. So this map might be big enough that we also go a very greedy strategy, but that one team is very greedy.
Yeah, actually, so as last time, we're only going to try and build 1 pasture, but it's going to get killed immediately.
So luckily, we took long enough to kill the pasture that it finished. so we got the milk.
Yeah, so perhaps unwisely, we're probably going to rebuild it in a second here. Oh, but we.
There.
Oh, we're
So
defending it
our
somehow.
robots have a very conservative micro, but we didn't really implement anti-suicide code very well, so his suicides are kind of demolishing us. Oh, but we got the pasture, finally. I think, yeah, the robot counts are even, so
we'll
which
try and
means we're
rebuild in a
going to
moment
lose.
here. So we just need to hold him off for a little while.
Yeah.
Oh, but we're not going to
Oh!
94.
It's going to repeat, yeah. Is that our guy building? Oh, that's our guy building, but he's going to die. Okay, now he's going to build.
So we came in and killed him before they finished building.
500 rounds remain.
So we're going to try and build 1 last pasture.
Blue finally has a unit advantage. Red builds a pasture.
Oh, killed
boy.
so quickly.
But then we leave because we're chasing that one guy on the right side.
No.
It's a little bit problematic, and now he's going to finish.
Critical red herring. And now, we are pleased to bring you the finals match. Now, one of these teams is coming from the losers bracket. Am I
That
right?
would be the one. That one team is coming from the losers bracket. So if he wants to get through this, he has to beat losing really badly in 2 sets.
That's right, 2 whole sets. So this is gonna come down to this.
So some more history in the seeding tournament. I beat losing really badly in the winners bracket, and then losing really badly came back to the finals of the tournament in a very similar situation, except we're sort of reversed here.
Yeah, positioning is going to be very interesting because my bots are pretty scattered. But I guess the unit count's actually pretty similar.
Yeah, so my guys in blue are trying to hold the center just because they sort of like that area.
Right, I'm red, so those 2 guys are stuck in a corner and they're probably going to have a lot of trouble. They don't, except his units don't try to go and kill it though, so.
Yeah, my guys aren't in any mode where they're trying to attack. They're just rallying.
Okay, so my guys are trying to push forward because those 2 guys are really scared. So it looks like we're going to keep fighting for a while.
Yeah, so it's reached 1,000 rounds, so I'm going to try and build.
Wow, massive.
Big engagement
Many
with a lot of
self-destructs going
self-destructs
off.
Yeah. So we're each going to build our own pasture, except he gets us up first, but not so
Okay,
sure about.
but we're going to do a big attack to try and
Yeah.
take out theirs.
Yep. Good game. All right, so this is a very big map.
Exciting map. Looks like we're, as usual, being recklessly greedy and trying to build a pasture very quickly. We'll see if we can hold it.
So my bots are probably having trouble actually getting there. There's probably a lot of choke points, so it's probably not going to end well for me.
So what we're going to try and do now, I think, is leave half our guys to defend and try and send half to harass. But none of the harassers are getting through.
Yeah.
So that one team is going to take 1 set, and that's going to bring it to the last set. This is the, yeah, good space by there. So this is the, so even our bracket is excited.
Am I red? Okay, I guess I'm red.
Okay, so it looks like my guys in blue are deciding to rally in the center again, and we're going to wait and see if he builds anything.
Probably wait until round 1,000 and then start building, I guess, unless they get distracted by trying to kill somebody.
This looks like our guys are getting picked off one by one.
Yeah, although my guys are not in very safe spots either, though, so they're kind of like all across the map. Soon, round 1,000 will hit, and then drama will happen.
All right, so
There
here
it
we go.
is.
Looks like my guys are trying to go to the bottom right to build something.
There's one up here in the upper left. There's
Yep.
one in the lower right.
Okay, so
So
all my guys are going to attack.
Oh.
Rapid collection.
Yeah, my guys are probably not reaching. Oh.
So we took out their pasture, and now we're going to rush back to try and defend.
Yeah, my guys are having trouble getting there without staying in fire range. So this is a short map, so probably it's going to like fight for a really long time now.
Right, yeah, so again, my guys try to rally in the center. They're not trying to kill anyone, so they just sort of keep tabs on the nearby red robots. And yeah, we'll probably wait till round 1,000 before we get around to doing anything again. The issue with building earlier is that when you build something, you sacrifice some robots and you make yourself really vulnerable to an attack. So my philosophy, at least, is that hopefully if you do that when you have a lot of robots, the disadvantage will be minimized.
Yeah, oftentimes, like, because it's really common to build with a noise tower pasture combo. So generally, like, if you lose it, you lose like 2 robots, 2 soldiers. A huge engagement
Big
happens.
fight. Looks like I got a bit of a robot count advantage there.
Yeah. The fight did not go well. Now they're going to come
I'm
attack.
going to abandon my pasture. Okay, coming back to defend.
Yeah. I think he's going to win this one. Good, James.
Wow. Wow. I gotta say, what a lot of really amazing matches. And you know, it's not over. You saw some great games and you were able to see with your own eyes some amazing performance. But there is some performance that goes on that you don't see or that you have a lot more trouble seeing. And for those, we have a lot of special awards like sponsor awards and things that we'll get to eventually, right? I'm just sort of building it up, right? Okay. That's a cliffhanger, because first we're going to hear some developer remarks. Now, we've got a special sponsor category called the developer category, which applies to people who are currently employed in amazing companies that are sponsoring Battlecode, and these people who are there employing it and who are going to show up have themselves been Battlecode devs. Am I right?
That's correct.
Yeah, so first let's hear from Amplitude.
Hey guys, I'm super excited to be here again. That was awesome. Congratulations to all you guys who made the finals, and congratulations to all the contestants. You guys are fantastic, and I had a great time meeting you guys today. And thanks again to the devs. You guys did a fantastic job. This wouldn't have been possible without you. You know, I absolutely love Battlecode. The last time I was up here on stage was in 2010 when my co-founder and I took first place. That was the most, honestly, that was the most intense time I had ever had at MIT. Didn't get much sleep, didn't really do anything for all of IAP besides just work on Battlecode. You know, wake up, work on Battlecode 24/7, and go back to sleep. Let me tell you a story. One year when we did it, one of our rivals, we were super afraid of him. We had been gone back and forth in the scrim server. We'd win one, he'd win one, we'd win one again, and we were afraid of matching up against them at the finals. He had stopped working on his bot about most of the way through the competition with like a week left. Afterwards, I asked him what happened. Why did you stop working on your bot? As it turns out, he said he had forgotten to eat during Battlecode, so he started to suffer from malnutrition and wasn't able to program at all. So I hope none of you have had that bad of an experience over IAP, maybe just lose a little bit of sleep. I hope none of you have suffered from malnutrition. I miss competing in it a lot, in spite of those crazy things. Honestly, it's been great preparation for what it's like to work in the real world, more than anything else that I've done here, including any of the classes or your ops or anything else. Because you're working in a small team together to achieve a common goal, and then you have to make trade-offs and decide what's the best use of your time and apply that to actually implement it and compete here on stage. So just a little bit about us. We're a small startup based in San Francisco. We're a 4-person team, and we do mobile analytics. If you take a look at mobile as a consumer category, it's the fastest growing medium in history. More people have mobile phones today than have running water or electricity. In fact, I think just last week, Facebook announced for the first time they made a majority of their revenue on mobile, which is absolutely crazy. And we're building the most important piece of infrastructure for mobile, which is analytics. We help app developers understand what their users are doing. And ultimately, if we succeed, we'll have the largest database on consumer behavior in the world. So for all of you guys who like big data, we'll be having the biggest. We're a small team of 4 competing against companies with thousands of people, but we have a lot of fun at the same time. If you're interested in full-time or internships, come talk to me after. I've had a great time meeting all you guys here. Congrats again. We have a lot of swag outside, including ping pong balls. I know you can never have enough of those. I always lose them. And congrats again to all you guys who have worked so hard. Thank you.
And next, I'd like to call back a sponsor you've heard from already, perhaps, because some of you were outside at the time. So let's call back Oracle, our wonderful platinum sponsor.
That's if they're still here.
You're all right?
No? Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
You know, I think part of their confidence comes from the fact that their pitch was so good that the people who were here will tell the people who weren't here about it.
Right.
And that's right. There are definitely those tables will still be out there. You know, the tables they don't walk out. So you can definitely. Anyway, with that said, we are ready to present some exciting awards. Yes, that's right. So our sponsors have a lot of character, and as such, they have awards. So without any further segue or transition, I'd like to call up. Well, this one is our award. Is one of the Dev Awards, and it goes to. So what we'll do for the awards. Let me just say. What we'll do for the awards is I'll say the name of the team, and we can get some applause, and you can come on up, but while you're coming up, I'll call another name, you know, so it's faster, okay? It's fine. You can shake the hands of these guys because they're awesome, or you could not shake their hands. It just depends on your culture or interests. I believe they've both recently washed their hands, but not only because they were going to shake hands, but they generally do so. You get the idea, right? So the Developer Award for the best strategy reports, is this the Silver Award for strategy reports? Means it's the second place award for strategy reports?
It means it's collectively from the silver sponsors.
Oh, I see. So collectively from the silver sponsors, we have the best strategy report. Do you guys have any comments to make on the report itself? What made it so good? It was just good. It was just good. Operation Screaming Fist. Come on up. And now, if I can get D.E. Shaw to come up and give its award, give their award. Do you refer to a company as their or its? I guess I asked a question of an audience, and they have no way of responding collectively. Companies are people too.
Hi everyone, I'm Catherine Sorensen. I'm a recruiter with the D.E. Shaw Group. First of all, congratulations to all of the finalists and the wonderful devs. This was just a lot of fun to watch. So we are giving the award for the most adaptive strategy, and that's the strategy that best takes into account both the new map and what the competitors are doing. Adaptability is something that is highly valued by our company. Basically, what we do is we build very complex mathematical models, leveraging cutting-edge technology. And one of the things that underlies our work is the fact that the world is always changing. And we build these models with the fact that we need to adapt to a constantly shifting reality. So obviously, all of you finalists did a great job in adapting, otherwise you wouldn't have gotten here, but there was one team that really impressed us, and that was Team Jalmad.
And next, I'd like to ask Amplitude to come on up.
Hey guys, I'll keep this short. So we're gonna give out an award for the best comeback. I mean, you know, honestly, when we did Battlecode, it was all about retreating, coming back, and just like trying to run away as fast as possible. That was definitely one of the key things in our code. And so one of the best team who did that this year, who does super impressive strategy, one of the most innovative ones that I've seen is the Vegan Police.
Yeah, I was consistently impressed with their creativity. That's just fantastic. Let's call up 2 Sigma.
Okay. Hi guys, it's me again. So congratulations to everyone who took part. Not just the winners, but to all of you. You guys are all winners. You guys all did great. And my thanks to the devs for doing a great job this year, as they do every year, of course. So I'll keep this short as well. So this year we're giving an award for Best Supportive Team. And that means that the team that has basically helped others the most. And I mean, for those of you who have been following, I'm guessing that it's not going to be a surprise. And it turns out that helping others also helps yourself, because our winner is actually this year's winner, that one team.
And next up, we've got Akamai. Yeah, we were able to, we got a lot of feedback on how Battlecode went this year, and it was just overwhelming, how much support we saw other teams giving and referring other teams in terms of, you get the idea.
All right, so we're going to present the award for testing. Testing is probably the most underrated aspect of software development. It really is the key to making software reliable and high performing. So we're very pleased to present this year's award to the Paddle Goats.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, they were the team that submitted the most. Was this the most scrimmage matches? Is that the no? This was. How did this one work?
Scrimmage matches was a different one. I think this was the most uploads.
The most uploads.
Submissions.
The greatest number of submissions. Yeah. Okay, next Dropbox, please. Yeah, Dropbox.
Hey everybody, we're going to be giving an award out for the top scrimmage team. I think that what's kind of brutal about Battlecode is you get up here, it's so fast and it's over. But one of the cool things about the scrimmage server, which didn't even really exist at the beginning of Battlecode, is that it gives you an opportunity to see all of these matches. And I think a lot of the hard work really pays off. And it's a really gratifying experience to kind of see everything that goes on there. And we've always wanted to acknowledge and reward the team that was able to do the best there as well. Turns out this year it's that one team. So congratulations. One of the most impressive things we've seen here.
Next up, let's get Oracle. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to say again, congratulations to all of you. You did a fantastic job. We are so proud to be here to support you. And, we think everyone has made some amazing battles here tonight. Again, keeping it short, we want to give the award tonight to the team that had the best cutting-edge technology. At Oracle, although we're an established company, we're constantly striving to develop new cutting-edge technology, and tonight that award is going to go to Cloud 8.
Now, in the context of our game, the developers help the sponsors choose the teams, I believe, and in the context of our game, cutting edge corresponds to
advanced programming techniques.
Yes, advanced programming techniques. You can count on us to look at your code line by line, despite the complete lack of comments and the switch statements with 1,000 elements in the main file. With that, we can move straight on to the Newbie Awards. We give to the second place Newbie Tournament, Ralphie. And we've got first place in the Newbie Tournament, 1260/3. So thank you to both of those newbie teams. Now from the devs, we have several dev awards. And we've got here for the Sprint Tournament winner, Proxy 2Gate. The winner of the Dev Troll Tournament, in which there were negative cows, which produced negative milk, which annihilated regular milk. We have Team Armada. Now that's good edge case handling, really good. Now we've got under Best Stage Presence, award that we wrote in here while we were sitting at the table, Proxy 2Gate. Now for our overall awards, we've got quite a few, and some of them, just because of the nature of a double elimination bracket, don't have exact numbers. So from 13th to 16th place is like one section. We've got the following teams: Pusheen, Cloud 8, Six Pool, and Quotes. From 9th to 12th place overall, we have the following teams. Yes, all those guys who just won awards, come on up, or we'll have a backup here, and it'll be a cloggage. Yes, from 9th to 12th place, the teams are Robots Descended Mythical, 1260 over 3, and B1 with Yuri. Oh, and the Vegan Police. Because naturally, the numbers 9 to 12 have 4 elements because of subtraction. So yes, our award for 7th to 8th place, both of these, go to Proxy 2Gate and Paddle Goats. Then we have in 5th and 6th place, 10-Hour Challenge and Jalmad. For those of you who don't know, these awards have a lot of cash prizes behind them. Those people will be contacted and will tell you how to get paid. It's not as easy as us handing you a check, unfortunately. Next, in 4th place, we've got Animorphs. In 3rd place, we have Armada. In 2nd place, we have Losing Really Badly. And finally, to completely overload him with awards, we have for that wonderful player who's joyed and delighted us with so many amazing matches, additional sentences that indicate approval, that one team. I will. So before you go, we've seen a lot of amazing matches. We've distributed a lot of amazing prizes. Although some of the amazement comes when you get paid and not really just talking about it. And now, here we are. The sponsors are still outside, so you can still mingle with them. You can still get a job or an internship or a pair of earbuds. Battlecode probably still has way too many of these shirts that we've printed, so definitely go ahead and get at least one of those. If you'd like, you can come up on the stage and talk to us about the tournament this year, how you felt about it. You can deliver all of those punches you've been wanting to throw about how unfair those matches appeared to be. You can get limited edition posters, I believe, somewhere. They are available. What about the shirts? The posters are by the shirts. Yes, the posters are by, limited edition posters that say Battlecode on them. They're amazing. And finally, if you like what you see, if you see the gameplay and you see how we have to make a whole new game every year and we've got all this organization and all this free food, if you like the whole idea or you're interested in learning what it takes to be a dev, come talk to us. And with that, I believe we'll conclude tonight's Battlecode Finals. Thank you for coming.